There we are. Hello, 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 hello. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, gotta love StreamYards and their stupid glitchy stuff. Sorry. Another glitch. It just ends on its own when it feels like it. I don't know why, but here we are. Happy Monday. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Again, sorry, folks, for my video on Friday ending. I had all sorts of stuff going on. I did figure out and fix what's going on with my stuff, my monitor. I had some other problems going down, internet issues happening, all of it all at one time. So, regardless, here we are. We're back. It's Monday. And thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you guys so very much. Hope you're having a hope you all had a great morning and you're starting off with a wonderful afternoon. And again, hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It's great to be back with you guys. Missed everybody so very much. Thank you to anybody and everybody that said happy birthday to my wife this weekend. It's great to see you all. And she appreciated that so very much, guys. She really did. So come on in, find a seat, get comfortable. We're going to go over these documents and talk about them and some other little things that goes along with it. Looks like we got 75 people in here, guys, and we got 31 likes. Let's please make that match if we can. Please. Appreciate you very much. Come on in. Oh, there they are. Probably help if I had these. Yes, we're back. Sorry about the glitch, everybody. We are here, though. Hold on a minute here. Absolutely, Miss Brandy. I hope you had a wonderful birthday yourself. Where's that plug-in at there? Here. Yes. I'm here for everybody, actually. See, welcome to all you guys. Looks like Taxi Slut 61. Welcome back to you. Great to see you. Newman 25. Welcome back for you. Sergeant Friday. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Virginia Wolf. Welcome back to you. Doodlebug Part. Always a pleasure to see you, dear. Excuse me. Wonderful to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Senny Curve. Always a pleasure. Walt Harris. Thank you for joining us. Looks like Brandy B, the OG. Welcome back. Great to see you. Golf Inspector General, always a pleasure to have you here as well. Of course, Cluminati, there she is. I see you in the chat there. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Let me see. Ro is in the house. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you. Miss Kells, welcome back to you. Miss Firefly, great to see you as well. Bobby J, welcome to you as well. Upstate New York is in the house. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Lisa Vallejo, great to see you. Sorceress, welcome back to you. Evie Marie, always a pleasure. Tina B, welcome back. Great to see you. Miss Shelley, hello to you. SW True Crime, thank you for joining us. Great to see you today. Karma Police, thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure. Come on in, guys. Get comfortable. Space Junkie 69. Annette McBee, thank you for joining us. Party of 5, welcome back to you. Great to see you today. Tomboy Charm, always a pleasure. Great to see you. Let's see here. Donna J. Jess, thank you for joining us. Great to see you. Jilly Lane, thank you for joining us today. Wildfire, welcome back to you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Great to see you. 360 Life, thank you for joining us. Party of 5, I did say that already. Come on in, guys. Grab a chair. 106 beautiful peeps in here. We got 50 likes. Let's make it match if we can. Where are we at here? Proud Mary, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Gaya Digucci, thank you for being here. Another SW. Let me see. Come on. Welcome back, Miss Kim Marion. Great to see you. Missouri Meemaw, thank you for joining us today. Just snooping, good to see you. Thank you so much for that, Doodlebug. Everybody, if you will, on your way in that door, please leave a little bit of DNA on that like button so that we can find you later on when we need to. Please don't forget, guys. We're almost there. 54 likes, 117 peeps in here. Come on, we can do this. Yes, happy birthday to you, all the birthday people. My wife had a wonderful weekend. I hope you did as well, Brandy. And then my father's birthday, my stepfather, his birthday was yesterday, the day after my wife's. So a lot of birthdays. Christopher Bond, welcome back to you, sir. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Sorry to get everybody confused. Sorry to get you confused. Yeah, the StreamYard thing, it just glitches whenever it feels like it and just shuts off. It ended the stream. As soon as I started it, poof, it was down. And it's like, what is going on? It's done this a couple of different times before. It's irritating as hell. So thank you guys for your patience and understanding. That's kind of what happened Friday, except it was doing a bunch of other weird stuff too. And I think it was all internet related. M. Melissa, welcome. Good to see you. And you're welcome. Bro, welcome back. Good to see you. I have not heard from Brian as of yet. I hope he's doing okay. War Eagle, welcome back to you, ma'am. Good to see you. Come on in, guys. Grab a chair. Get comfortable. 123 peeps here. We got 60 likes. We are almost there. Come on. Let's not get the feedback either. But yeah, I got my monitor fixed. I don't know if I even want to tell you guys this. So when this all went down, okay, I'm at home recovering from surgery. Please do take it easy, Mima. I don't care what surgery you're having. None of it's easy. So hope you're feeling better. Be safe and heal up right. What do we got going on here? What else am I seeing? Wildfire said something. Oh, good luck with that for sure, Wildfire. Hope everything works out well for you. Nah. Yeah. Go ahead and tell them that if you want to. That's fine. Clue. She wants to tell you because I did a dumb thing. First of all, I got to tell you guys, my monitor stopped working. Which I will say one thing, I still needed a new cord because my other cord had a frayed, one of the pins on the inside was bad. So whatever. So I'll give you guys the story and then she can just tell you what it was. Okay. So she wants to so bad. So anyway, I switched cords, did this, did that. I switched monitors. I ran it and still it was blinking. It was flickering really bad, like it was strobing almost. Giving me a headache and all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So I called the company that made my graphics card, which is NVIDIA, and then Asus as well. Was on the phone almost all day with them Saturday. Trying to figure this out, right? Changed everything up, did this, did that. I was asking because Sarge knows how to put computers together. Cletus knows how to build computers. The guy that helped me build this computer, I was asking him all of this. Okay. I couldn't figure it out. So my wife, we had a little get together for my wife's birthday Saturday in the evening. And one of her best friends, he runs an IT company. That's what he does. He does nothing but IT stuff. So I'm like, John, come here. I have a question for you. I showed it to him and he was like, oh, wow. And he goes, what's up, Bat Sheet? Good to see you. And he goes, when did that start? And I told him what I did, how I took everything apart, was cleaning the desk and doing this. Welcome, Bat Sheet. Good to see you. And so on and so forth. Now it wasn't that bad, Ro. It wasn't quite that bad. But he's like, do this and do that. So I did a couple of those things. And then I did a couple other little things. And he was like, You tried it with different monitors. I said, yeah, tried it with this, tried it with that. And go ahead, Clue, tell him what it was. And I just looked at the guy for like, I don't know, 10 minutes when he told me. And I was like, no, there's no way. No way. No way. No way. No, it wasn't the wrong hole. Okay. I have like see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 different outlets, things plugged into outlets, okay? And different plugs. The 2, it's okay. You were wrong plug. The monitors both have the same exact plug. Well, then I have another thing back here plugged in that has almost the same plug. It's off by about that much. So I had that plugged into this instead of that plugged into something else. And they were both working, but they weren't working right. So it was the wrong plug after all of that. I was so pissed off. I'm still pissed off. Definitely not the wrong hole, Doodle. That wasn't the problem. Wrong plug. Yeah. I don't know, Warrior. I got 7 of them. I did something right somewhere. 50 cords going into 2 machines. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. Lots and lots of a lot. Yes, yes. I know. I feel stupid. One second, guys. Okay. Sorry, my wife just walked in the door. Hello, Mr. Philip Hughes. Betty Boop, good to see you. Yeah, my blinds are closed, Firefly. It's crazy. Welcome, 12. Good to see you. And it's coming through the cracks no matter what I do. Sorry. Sorry for the light, guys. Tony Stevenson, thank you for joining us. Let's see. Victoria, great to see you. But yeah, the cord thing, I need to be a little bit more organized with my cords and get them fixed so that I don't run into these problems. All I was trying to do was clean. Donald D. Nice, good to see you. 156 people here, 73 likes. We're almost there, you guys. Let's get that thing going. I wish I could get. I need blackout blinds or something like that so that this doesn't hit me in the face. Yes, she was being nice. It rarely does happen. That's true. She was being nice to me. Throw glitter. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us, Groot. What's going on? Actually, yeah, I probably could do that. Hold on a minute. Let me check something out here, folks. That's a good idea, Groot. 1 second, folks. Ha 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 ha. Groot, you're a genius. That did work. Thank you. Yeah, she can be nice. She's actually a nice person, you guys. Some people don't think so, but I know her better than that. She's a very good, nice person. Welcome, Paladin. Good to see you. City Curve. Yes. Yep, Groot, you did it. Why didn't I think of that, you guys? This is commonsensical, stupid shit, and I could not make it happen. Thank you, Groot. You are the man or the woman, whatever you are. Thank you for that. I don't know what you are, so I don't want to be rude. But thank you. That's awesome. That was great. That was great. Why didn't I think of that? And it's perfect. I could have done that when I first set up here. Good Lord. I should probably do that for this side too. Hold on. Never thought of that. I know this. I taught my son this. Bingo. I'll be damned. Tis perfect. Thank you, Groot. You're awesome. A genius. We got Groot, the tree genius. What's up, Chief? Love you. You're a woman. Good to know. That way I can't say thank you, sir. But thank you, ma'am. You are awesome. Thank you, War Eagle, very much. Appreciate that. Oh, I got pants on. Don't worry. Actually, I'm wearing shorts, but yeah. Mastering the obvious can be helpful. Yes. Human 25. Good to see you. That's exactly what it is. Doodle's right. I overthink everything. Everything. It's insane. Too much. It's got to be something so hard, and then it's really not, because I overthink everything. Thank you, Miss Doodle. Appreciate you. I'm wearing pants. Don't worry. Who said I didn't have pants on? Oh, I've always done that. That's just who I am. I'm not wearing pants. Shut up, Sarge. Go eat some waffles or something. Yes, definitely overthought that scenario. Betty Boop says, off topic, just want to say my surgery and sudden health situation has made a better human being, not take life for granted, and to be grateful for everyone around me, every sunshine I wake up to. Amen to that one, Betty. That's awesome. Good for you. God bless. And I hope everything is doing better for you. We're almost there, guys. 81 likes. Come on. Let's do it. That way I can show you guys these. It's so weird here. It's like warm, but cold at the same time outside. It's super sunny, though. Sorceress, welcome. Great to see you. You're okay, Melissa? No worries. Speak your minds. Speak your minds, please. Don't make me sing to you. You don't want that. All right, let's get these documents loaded up. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to load my documents in and at the same time, because my lovely wife just walked back in with my coffee that I was out of, and I need it. I need it. I need it. 91. We need 9 more. One of my utmost awesome cheerleaders. Yes, as I call her. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? There it is. Listen, Kim, we have not had sun in so long that I can't afford to give it away at all. I better fix that, by the way. What is going on? Oh my God, never fails. Okay. Thanks, Clue. Every time, you guys. I type so fast. Hold on a minute here. Let's get rid of that, and give me a moment. I know, Kim, it's okay. You too, Betty. I hope you are doing well. Here we go. Sorry, guys. We're out in the algorithm. Yeah. All right. Nope, I'm here, Cindy. Good to see you. Good to see you, Paladin. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Doodle. We did it. We're out there. You guys are awesome. Okay, now Let's get some stuff up here. All right. Hold on a minute. I need better lighting in here too. That's what's the problem. There we go. Now I can see. Look it up. All right. All right. These are loading in now. Awesome. And let me move that there. All right. Give me one moment. I'm grabbing my coffee. Thank you so much, War Eagle. I appreciate that very much. And for that, for anybody that has done anything with the wish list for me, thank you so much for that as well. KP, what it do? What it do? Good to see you. Yeah, I think so. I think so. It is a little awkward. I do agree that. I didn't get a chance to look at it, Chief, but I will. That's a promise. That's a promise. All right. Oh, wait, who is that? Lisa Wilson, great to see you. Amanda Smith, thank you for joining us. I will do that, Mr. Philip Hughes, no problem. Duke, what's going on? Good to see you. Sarah D. Irish, thank you for joining us. Who else do we have that just popped in here? I saw somebody else. Chief. Nope, I seen you already. Jill Elaine. Okay. Anybody out there that is just listening and not in the chat, thank you so much. We appreciate you too so very much. Chris Doheny, good to see you. All right, guys, give me one moment. I will be right back with you here. Meanwhile, where did it go? Intermission. Be right All right. Sorry. Sorry. I was feeling out of sorts. I hadn't had any since early this morning. Here we are. I'm back. Thank you, God. Yum, yum, yum. I know, you're right. 12. Sorry about that. I do love my coffee. Yes, I do. Thank you. We'll appreciate that. All right, so let's pull these up here and get this started for you guys. I made you guys wait long enough. All right, let's see here. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to blow it up so you guys can see it. Okay, here we go. Share. Oh, I know what's wrong. I got you guys flip-flopped. The screens are backwards today. That's a whoa. Why did I do that? Try this again. Here we go. Boom, there we are. Now we got it. Okay. Can you guys tell that I haven't had the right amount of coffee today? I'm making all these goofy ass mistakes and stuff. Not so much, Philip. I drink it with sugar-free creamer in it. I used to drink it black. Welcome, El Bariqua. Great to see ya. These things. Okay. So there's two documents that were dropped. 190 people. We're over the algorithm. Let's do this. Let's see here. Moonlit Baby, great to see you. Motion to allow certain experts and investigators protected access to view IGG materials. Nothing like being specific on this one, huh? What's up, Jazz King? Good to see you. Comes now Brian C. Koberger by and through his attorneys and hereby moves this court for an order allowing certain experts and investigators protected access to view IGG materials. Counsel for Mr. Koberger has reviewed the materials currently available under the court's sealed order for disclosure of IGG information and protective order filed with the court on December 29th of 2023 and requests the court to include additional members of the defense team access to the materials. Okay. Mr. Koberger specifically requests the current protective order to be expand and allow defense experts, sorry guys, Dr. Leah Larkin, Becca Barlow, and Stephen Mercer access to the materials further. Mr. Koberger requests that criminal investigators that are part of the defense team be allowed to have access to the materials as well. Expanding the current protective order to include additional members of the defense team and experts includes each additional person subject to the restrictions in the protective order. This request is grounded in Mr. Koberger's Sixth Amendment right to effective assistance of counsel and counsel's ongoing duty to investigate the case brought against Mr. Koberger. Access to these materials is necessary to investigate how and when Mr. Koberger was identified as a suspect. Now, this was dated as of February 1st. What's up, Tanel? Yes, plural. And Taylor signed. So, and as it says in the title, of course, we saw the hearing where they allowed the experts to come in. And of course, we're missing Gabriella Vargas. And we know that the prosecution sent the FBI to speak to Gabriella after the hearing, and she's not listed in the paperwork now. So was she removed? Why was she removed? What's the meaning behind that? And are they going to have anybody to replace her? As in having another, expert witness to look at this. That's my curiosity. I had a feeling she wasn't going to be in it, but, we still got to talk about it because I just don't know. Welcome to Nell. Again, good to see you today. She talked too much. Yeah, you think so, Kel? Maybe. It's very possible. Very, very possible. Thank you, K-Dips. It's great to see you. She went on YouTube, yeah. And she was under a gag, I thought. I would imagine she would have to be. She went on Lannis. Thank you, K-Dips. It's great to see you. I mean, it makes sense, Kels. It does. What's up, Paco? Sorry. Let's behave in here, guys. She was also on 48 hours. That's true. Come on in, everybody. So there is that document. And like I said, we can talk about this a little bit more after the fact. Let me give you guys the other document real quick first. Hold on. 1 second here. Did it again. Welcome, Angela. Good to see you. I don't know why I keep clicking on that side of it. There it is. Julie Dunn, good to see you as well. Yes, my head has fire burning on the top of it. Excuse me. Let's see. KP says prosecution would have a field day with that, even if it's just innocent, which I'm sure it was because it looked unprofessional. Very much so. Yes, it very much did look unprofessional. So the next document we have coming up here with us today is the order denying the defendant's motion to reconsider and motion for permissive appeal. And the background on that reads, this is an ongoing, hold on a minute. This is an ongoing criminal prosecution for 4 counts of murder in the first degree and 1 count of burglary. The murders were committed over a year ago on November 13th of 2022. Brian C. Koberger was charged with the crimes on December 30th of 2022 and has been in custody since that time. Although trial was originally scheduled to begin in October 2023, on August 23rd, 2023, defendant waived his right to a speedy trial and moved to continue the jury trial at a later date to provide adequate time for him to challenge the grand jury indictment, among other things. On July 25th of 2023, defendant filed a motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of error in grand jury instructions or in the alternative remand for preliminary hearing on October 23rd of 2023. Defendant filed a motion to dismiss the indictment on grounds of bias, grand jury inadmissible. Well, inadmissible under, thank you, El Barriqua. Sorry about that. Awesome. Gotta love the coffee money. Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me now? I don't know. Something froze. Sorry about that. Can you hear me now? All right, good. First decision provides important information for the appellate court's on consideration. Under IAR 12, an appeal may be taken from an interlocutory order under very limited circumstances. IAR 12A. First, the order appealed from must involve a controlling question of law as to which there is substantial grounds for difference of opinion. IAR 12A. Second, it must appear that an immediate appeal from the order may material. Well, hold on. This is interesting. I can't even speak today. Sorry. Materially advance the orderly resolution of the litigation ID. It was the intent of IAR 12 to provide an immediate appeal from the interlocutory order if substantial legal issues of great public interest or legal questions of first impression are involved. In addition to the factors set forth in IAR 12, a court determining whether to hear an interlocutory appeal should also consider the impact of an immediate appeal upon the parties, the effect of the delay of the proceedings in the district court pending the appeal, the likelihood or possibility of a second appeal after judgment is finally entered by the district court, and the case workload of the appellate courts. IAR 12 only creates an appeal in the exceptional case and does not broaden the appeals which may be taken as a matter of right under IAR 11, Idaho. The reconsideration, and this is what the analysis was. For the reasons articulated on the record on January 26 of 2024, defendant's motion for reconsideration is denied. The order denying motion to dismiss indictment for inaccurate instructions to grand jury and the sealed order denying motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct are both soundly rooted in case law, constitutional law, statutes, and criminal rules. The court does not find error with any factual findings or application of well-settled laws to the facts as found. In reaching its decision, the court spent a significant amount of time reviewing the grand jury proceedings and researching the issues presented by the defendant. Reconsideration does not change the court's decisions. Congrats, Miss Krampus. 4 months, have been a member. That's awesome. Thank you for choosing to be here with us for that long. We appreciate you very much. Where did I drop off at? Okay, so the permission to appeal from interlocutory orders is denied. First, neither the order denying motion to dismiss indictment for inaccurate instructions to grand jury, or the sealed order denying motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct involve a controlling question of law as to which there is substantial grounds for difference of opinion. Congratulations, throw glitter on it. 4 months as well. You guys are awesome. So great to have you meatballs around here. I love it. Love it, love it. Let's see here. What did you just say there, Paladin? It's obvious that even if BK is found guilty, there are so many gaps and inconsistencies in this case that on appeal, the guilty verdict would be thrown out. More than likely, I would imagine. I mean, the appeal process is going to be a lot with this. It should be. Well, thank you, Victoria. Well, I'm glad to see you guys. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Where am I at here? Hold on. There we go. What did I miss? I hate when I'm reading something and I lose my spot. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Okay. Involving controlling question of law as to which there is substantial grounds for difference of opinion, IAR 12. Indeed, it is well settled law in Idaho that the standard for grand jury indictment is probable cause, not beyond a reasonable doubt. Defendant himself recognizes. What in the hell? Okay. How does that? Oh, defendant himself recognizes that the whole of modern jurisprudence on the issue is against his novel theory, that beyond a reasonable doubt is the applicable standard. In Idaho, colleagues of defense counsel may have presented this theory to at least 3 district judges, and all have agreed that probable cause and not beyond a reasonable doubt is the appropriate standard. Thus, there are not substantial grounds for differences of opinion on this issue. Similarly, Idaho Criminal Rule 6.6 expressly states a motion to dismiss the indictment may be granted by the district court for a valid challenge to an individual juror who served on the grand jury that found the indictment. Although defendant argues his rule violates due process, there is no case law supporting defendant's position. Thus, there are no substantial grounds for differences of opinion to dismiss the indictment, where the indictment was found to be a probable cause by all 16 jurors. And that is the order denying defendant's motion to reconsider and motion for permissive appeal 5. Okay. Let's see here. Second, an immediate appeal of the orders denying dismissal of the indictment would not materially advance the order's orderly resolution of the litigation. Quite the opposite is true, unfortunately. This case has already been pending for a year, and at this juncture, trial may not even be set until spring or summer of 2025. If an appeal is granted now, the case will essentially come to a halt for some period while the appellate court reviews the grand jury proceedings, causing even further delay. And the gain to defendant, even assuming a permissive appeal is granted by the appellate court, and the appellate court rules in defendant's favor, is de minimis, as the state has stated that charges would immediately be refiled. State differently, the likelihood of defendant being released from custody, even if the indictment were dismissed by a higher court, is essentially non-existent. So they're basically saying that regardless of what were to happen with this, that there's no way in hell that Brian's going to get out, period. That's just that. Okay? Even if the charges were dismissed, he's not going to be getting released. So, I mean, it is what it is. That is just something that, and I had stated to somebody that before. So, you know, the only path forward for either side is a trial. Additionally, as time passes, both sides are faced with the reality that witnesses' memories may fade or witnesses may become available, which may cause prejudice to one or both sides. Finally, while the court remains steadfast in its obligations to ensure defendants' constitutional rights are protected, the court is also mindful of the victims' families' constitutional right to timely disposition of the case. Idaho Constitution, Art 1 to 22. An appeal would now not advance defendants' right or the rights of the victims' families. Case law also instructs this court to consider the impact of an immediate appeal upon the parties, the effect of the delay of the proceedings in the district court pending the appeal, the likelihood or possibility of a second appeal after judgment is finally entered by the district court, and the case workload of the appellate court. As outlined above, the impact of an appeal now on the parties would not be favorable to either side, and the effect of further delay of these proceedings may result in prejudice to one or both parties. Finally, if a defendant is convicted by a trial jury, and especially if the death penalty is imposed, there will undoubtedly be years of appeals to come where the issue raised by defendant may now be reviewed by higher court. And they said something in the one hearing. Thank you so much, Brandy, for that. And thank you to anybody that has donated to these links to keep me going, to keep the bills paid. I appreciate you so very much, guys. It really does help. There was a comment made, probably, oh, Lord. The one hearing that they had where he said, well, we'll still be here 28 years from now if this is the case. Guys, that's not that far off, okay? What did Willie just say? What's up, buddy? This case is like the movie Groundhog Day. I had to step away a little from it. Agreed. It is day after day after day after day. That's why I try to go on to different things. I really do. Again, thank you, Brandy. Where are we at here? Undoubtedly be years of right. Years and years and years and years of appeals, guys. So this is going to go on forever, okay? Regardless of what happens. What's up, Kaleido? IAR 12 only creates an appeal in the exceptional case and does not broaden the appeals, which may be taken as a matter of right under IAR 11. It was the intent of IAR 12 to provide an immediate appeal from the interlocutory order if substantial legal issues of great public interest or legal questions, first impressions are involved. While this case in and of itself is exceptional, that defendant is charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and is facing the death penalty if convicted. The issues raised by defendant's motions to dismiss the indictment are not exceptional, nor are they substantial legal issues of great public interest or legal questions of first impression. If grand jury proceedings were routinely reviewed by the appellate courts before jury trials, the grand jury is merely an investigative body tasked with determining if there is probable cause for defendant to face the charges against him. Nothing the grand jury did has any bearing on the ultimate question of the defendant's guilt or innocence. For these reasons, defendant's motion for permission to appeal is denied. Bing, bang, boom. So he was reading, I'm guessing, directly out of specific parts of that book that he was reading out of that last time that we saw him in the hearing. So let's see here. Take care, Chief, and thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. Be safe out there. So, like I said, it's going to be appeal after appeal after appeal. We've said this before too. That's what there's going to be lots of it. Lots and lots and lots of appeals. Crazy stuff, folks. At least, Willie, at least. Very true. Very true. Hey, hi, vibes. Good to see you. Wendy Nelligan, you too. Wendy Wallace, good to see you. Right. That's it for the documents, folks. That's what they have. So, bring that down. And same for you, High Vibe 16. It's great to see you. What kind of coffee? I drink whatever coffee I can get. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Usually medium, like medium. No, you're right, Joanne. She's not an expert, but they cleared her as an expert to bring her in initially. Folks, hold on a minute here. Let me do this. All right. Drop a link here. Anybody wants to come up and talk about this? Come on up. Let's talk about it. Ouch. Let's get your guys' thoughts and feelings on it, because I know everybody's got something. Yeah, the court initially cleared Vargas to be an expert. So once they did, they allowed her to speak on it. Why did they not after the fact? That's what I kind of thought was a little strange. That's all. Uh-oh. Willie, Mr. Willie?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now I can. What's up, buddy?
Am I low?
Are you high?
No. Not yet.
You sound good. You're all right.
Cletus.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today.
So yeah, my opinion stays the same. He's being railroaded, and I'm not 50-50 anymore.
Hold on. Can you hear me, Clue?
Yeah, sorry, I was hanging up the phone.
Yeah.
Shorten these speakers. You guys, I swear to God, it's not one thing, it's another. Say something.
So I saw your comment and chat, Clue, and then I answered. Huh?
Please.
Hello?
Hold on. I'm looking. What comment?
How come Willie Cock can talk through?
Well, you said about that you don't think he didn't do this. So I asked you what evidence puts you in a direction that you think he did do this.
I said it's a possibility, still a possibility that he did this.
Well, I mean, anything's a possibility, but I'm saying, like, we've been hearing all this time that they have so much, and like, at what point do we say they don't have any more, and we have to go by what we've been saying we're not going to convict somebody on?
I don't think we can do that until we hit a trial, though, Willie. Like, I have a bad feeling that they're going to throw something. I don't know what, and I can't give you even a remote, like, chance of knowing what it is, but there's got to be something. I keep saying this.
Yeah.
There's got to be something for them to stick to where they're at with this. They're not backing down. They're not pulling the death penalty. They're not anything. So, I mean, I would feel that I feel that if they had a weak case, that they would have pulled the death penalty already. You see what I'm saying? I
guess.
I mean, that's. I'm just saying.
Listen, when you're trying to make an example out of somebody, it's completely different than like the Vallow case. So it's just my opinion. They were trying to get the shit pushed through. All of a sudden, Brian's arrested. Bang! They have a firing squad. Like, they're trying to make an example out of him, in my opinion, in the state of Idaho. So
yeah, you know what's funny, Willie, that you said that? It's because I can't help going back to that interview with Steve Gonzalez, where he alludes to like IgG DNA. And remember, he ends it with saying, like, let's put Idaho on the map. Does that make sense to anyone?
Yeah, well, that's what I think a lot of people tend to forget because of how far, we've because of how much time people invested into this. We forget how crazy people were going when they didn't have anybody, and how the parents were breathing down Ellie's neck, and now that they have their guy, to completely go against everything and start taking the death penalty off the table. Now you have 4 families that are going to be the Gonzalez's have a whole following that go nuts if they post something. So it's to me it's a slippery slope, because you didn't have somebody for so long, then you got somebody. The university calmed down, the parents calmed down. You thought the media was going to calm down, which I guess they did, but the people who is looking at this information like us, who they don't want to exist, are like, what the fuck? So, but that's just the way of the world. And if he wants to put Idaho on the map, I don't think this is a proper way to do it. If Dago's right, he's right. But if this is all they're gonna try to use,
right? Yeah, I'm like Dago, right? We don't know everything they have, and they've been so quiet. And I think, honestly, if anything, this case has shown me that a gag order is never the way to go, because there is so much stuff coming out now that it makes me angry.
Big mistake.
It makes me so mad. Well, and it's
let me ask this real quick. I'm not familiar with this fog data thing that Jesse's talking about. Somebody discussing fog data. Then Steve came out in his comments and almost confirmed it. What are we talking about with this?
Is that a new term?
It's something new to me. That fog data is interesting. Who knew but not surprised? We are.
Is that the new narrative, because we know that the cast is half-ass?
I don't know.
That's the other side of this that irritates my soul. I don't understand for 5 seconds 2 things in this case when it comes to Ann Taylor not just going in that courtroom and completely showing her whole entire tale. Number 1, all you have is a draft of the cast data.
Yes.
Did you guys work off of a draft or a final?
Wowzers.
Because you ought to have the final. Number
Let me
2,
ask you guys a serious question. I mean, honestly, if you can, put yourself. Oh, okay. I was going to ask you to put yourself in his shoes about.
Number 2.
Go ahead and finish first, and then we can do that.
How are they? Literally, she states, Ann Taylor states she's waiting on a video, and they are having to line up the audio and the video. How do you know they aren't tampering with that?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but isn't? Yeah, I don't know.
You just hope that they're not. I mean, that's the best thing to do with it, I guess. But no, you just said something that has made me. That's what's made me look at this differently. I'll be honest with all you guys. The fact that prosecution has been so quiet, and I mean, you said that just now. They've been really quiet, and they have been quiet, guys. They haven't thrown anything out anywhere. They haven't really said much of anything. And it really made me go, that's kind of interesting. What's up, Jesse?
Hey, Dago. Good to see you guys again. Yeah, I just thought I'd step up for a brief moment to talk a little bit about that fog data.
Yeah, please do, because it's new to me. It is.
It's interesting.
So another creator has been talking about it a bit. I don't know if you don't mind if I mention other creators.
No, please, no, go ahead. I want to learn about anything I can.
It's the Thought Riot podcast. They do a ton of content to a young couple. Anyways,
I've seen it.
I was watching their show, and they started talking about this fog data company and it sounds like it's not the information that they're providing to LE is sort of under the table, and it's not 100% legit. It's kind of like not regulated, but some LE outfits are paying them for private data that's collected from regular citizens, right?
Gotcha.
Cell tracking, whatever apps you can imagine where people would get data on you, where private companies would get data on you, and LE is apparently paying to be provided for this information. And
Okay.
then, so I watched this show, and then a day later, I'm listening to Steve G, and I think Clue was seeing the same interview. But some of the words he said was like a new technology that's never been used before, something that people haven't heard of. And the way he was describing it was something that, this fog data would fit the description of what he was saying.
Okay.
I don't know if we've seen somebody convicted based on the data that they're getting from these private companies, and it has the potential to open a can of worms, because is it even legitimate for them to be gathering this? Is it legal for them to gather this data?
Right. Gotcha. So it's almost basically like okay, like an unsanctioned type variation of something that's used?
As I understand it, it wouldn't be legal for LE to gather this information. So they go through a third party that gathers the information and then provides it to them. And they can sort of say, we're not gathering this information because we know we're not allowed to, but you can, and then sell it to us. And probably former law enforcement behind the company Fog Data as well.
I have a question. Why would they need to rely, if they do, say they go that route, right? Why would they need to rely on this data that has never convicted anybody, rather than, them having that damning piece of evidence that, they're going after the death penalty for and everything?
They're relying on a lab that's never provided data that's convicted anybody either, right? The lab that they used is a lab that's never actually provided information to convict.
So I mean, if they have an ace in the hole, why are they? And that's my question. Why are they trying to cheat? Basically,
yeah, I'm not saying they have an ace in the hole. I think this might be. I'm trying to think of why are they so confident? I think they think they have something, maybe, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, they have to. But KP was right. She said, the same thing I've been saying for a year, which is if they have him going inside, if they have him driving away in the area on camera, if they have his license plate, he would have been arrested, in my opinion, way sooner than December 28th, I think is when he was arrested. So that's the only thing that I just feel that there's nothing that's going to be on video that's going to be absolutely damning from anything other than maybe him driving the route that he said he was driving, and them trying to convince the jury that he pulled off of that route and turned his phone off, and whatever they're going to try to picture they're going to paint. I just but they go, like you said, if they're relying on this fog data, if they're relying on the whole IGG debacle, why is there still death penalty on the table?
Well,
and is it because they're trying to make him an example?
It makes me nervous. So, and somebody said in the chat.
Hello?
Yeah,
I'm still here.
His internet has been acting crazy today.
Vietnam connection.
I'm in Thailand myself, but
Really?
I don't think you can blame Dago's internet on me, though.
No, I just always call it a Vietnam connection if something happens. But that's crazy. I didn't know. I never heard of fog data.
Yeah. So, Willie, you have a cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever looked on Google? I shop a lot, so I'll Google I don't know, hot pink cowboy boots. Been there, done that, and it'll come up, and then there's this little box that comes up first, and it says Google Shopping would like to know your location, and you can either allow it or don't allow.
Yeah,
but that's what they're talking about, like apps or like Snapchat, right? You can share your location. But
here's my shit: if his phone's off, what does it matter?
So the only thing I think they could be relying on this for is possibly the 12 times he was allegedly there.
Oh God.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how any of that would work if the phone is off.
It's Jesus God. It just kills me. 12 times in 5 months. Like, you figure he would have went 11 times in November, for Christ's sakes. He would have went to that house every single day leading up to, him doing it, planning in his head,
Right.
reenacting it at home, and then he pulls up, and not only is our lights on, but there's somebody pulling up to the home if you're doing your due diligence at 4 a.m. and you decide to go in. And not only do you go in, like I keep saying, you go in with a knife and you handicap yourself against 50% of that. 50% of everything in your house right now you could pick up and use as a weapon, correct? That
Oh, yeah.
would strike somebody that has a knife. So it's a very big risk that you take if you premeditated this, and that's why I just can't see that.
I just feel like if you're smart enough or dedicated enough to go there 12 times, you would have this all planned out. Like you would know where you could park that no one could see you. You wouldn't have to keep driving around to make
You
sure all
wouldn't
the
have to
lights
stop
were
in front
off.
of the house.
Right. It's crazy.
And that's
And
why
it
I'm just not going to
sense.
pretend to make that it
Might
makes
make
sense.
sense if there was a lot more people involved, and he was
Oh my
one
God,
of
yeah.
many people, and
And the
or that was
timeline.
a driver. I think
yeah,
I
like
still,
a driver scenario.
yeah, like from day one, I almost have felt like that car, if it's involved with him at all and the commission of this crime, it feels like a getaway driver because you don't want to leave the area too far away because when the person comes out, you need to be there. You know what I mean?
So you're talking about the
The white
driver
car.
that they.
No, I'm talking about that white car, right? It almost it either drives around like it's a delivery person or it's a getaway driver for someone who was inside somewhere doing some stuff,
So
but they need to get
drop them
away.
off. Yeah, okay, that make a lot more sense. But then they would have to post up somewhere because that would mean that they drop them off, they come, they make their turn, and then they would obviously have to park somewhere because how long inside? 13 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. I just on the Linda Lane footage, if it shows us anything, does it show? Because again, I really haven't took that for face value. Does it show, other than the car that everybody keeps throwing layovers over, another set of headlights around like 4 a.m. that are shining at least,
Well,
which would be the DoorDash driver?
so I'm glad you said that because there's so many people on this Linda Lane stuff and they're hearing pins drop, okay? Pins, chains, whatever. Why don't we hear a car start that Brian should be in and leaving in, especially since he drove off at a high rate of speed? Where's the sound of the acceleration?
Or the tires screeching?
Sorry,
Exactly.
guys. I froze and everything shut down and restarted. Sorry.
It's all right.
And as far as I know, you can't turn off that beep beep when you unlock and lock the door in the Elantra. So why don't we hear him? And now he may not have locked his car, right?
But you still make a good point that we would hear the engine, because we heard the engine of the, that shit was loud as hell. So you'd think we'd at least hear a faint sound of an engine starting. That's a good point.
If you can hear that beep beep from the cop car at the band field, you should be able to hear him start his vehicle when he is done committing this crime.
Jesus, like I said, and this is why I can't get there, because of all, it just adds on top of everything else.
Well, what did I miss? Because I was gone for a few minutes. What did you guys start talking about?
And I just brought up something about the Linda Lane footage that, again, I don't really take it for face value, but I know we've all been focusing on that one car. Did we see another set of headlights around, give or take 3:55 to 4:05? What time did that car come into the screen?
250. Per the affidavit, it's like 2:56 or something.
Yeah,
I think.
like that.
Oh, so wait. So the white car that everybody's spotting.
3:29. It says multiple sightings of suspect vehicle 1 starting at 3:29 and ending at 4:20. The car makes an
But
initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residence and then leaves via Valencia Drive. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if it took somebody 30 minutes to do this, that car could have been driving around waiting for the person to finish
Mm-hmm.
and take them away.
Which would add another individual,
Agreed.
which would kill this whole story and
He
timeline.
may have been the driver that dropped somebody off.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Yeah,
person
like-
picked up transfer DNA from inside Brian Koberger's car. It got onto the sheath.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
been-
imagine,
we've mentioned it
like-
a long time ago.
Imagine if you had a friend that was like, yo, can you take me over here real quick? I need to get some whatever. And he's like, fine. And he drives them. Boom. He's now implicated himself in a crime. But I
Mhm.
don't know why he'd be doing all that driving around unless the person was like, don't just sit outside because it'll look suspicious.
Yeah.
Which could be.
That fog data is kind of interesting. It's nice to have a name to what Steve was talking about, even if this isn't exactly it, but it sounds exactly like it.
Well,
that last caller you had was pretty informative on that. It was good.
That's why I pulled this up here, because and it's basically the way it refers to it is like a data broker. Okay. You know, like there's multiple different agencies out there that are willing to broker info to law enforcement per se for certain prices. Okay. So that's how it explains it here. And it's a new thing for me. So that's why I'm quite interested in this, actually.
It's very interesting what it does, and its ability to do what it does is quite interesting because it uses basic, things we use every day with our phone. They're not telling us exactly what those programs are, though. I've got the same page up that you do. How cool.
Yeah, it says Fog Data Science is a company that purchases raw geolocation data originally collected by applications people use every single day on their smartphones and tablets. Those applications gather location data about where your phone is at a given moment and sell it to data brokers, okay, who in turn sell it off most often to advertisers or marketers who try to serve you ads based on your location. Now, see, that explains, how that happens with us, but it's interesting to think about it being sold to law enforcement in that sense, or used for law enforcement in that sense. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you were to add this, thank you for bringing this up, Jesse, because this is like really interesting to me. The fog is under the cloud. Gotcha. Okay. Hey,
But
Pickle.
it's perfectly legal once they've got a warrant to get the cell phone information from the cell phone companies. This
Which I
fog
gotta
data
say-
is legal to use, just so you know.
Yes. I have to interject here, though.
Mhm.
I got to interject something. You would think a person like Brian Koberger, who was literally in
Yeah, I know.
the study of cloud forensics,
Yes.
would already
Yes.
know this.
Absolutely.
Right. I agree with that. Now it's saying here, is this allowed? Just so everybody knows. In a word, no. The Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable searches and seizures.
Right.
But the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Fourth Amendment requires police to get a warrant before seizing, which they do. They've done all that the way they're supposed to. Okay.
Yep.
Before seizing historical location data called cell site location information from phone companies. The court reasoned that the seismic shifts in digital technology made possible the tracking of not only Carpenter's location, but also everyone else's. And they're talking about that Carpenter versus United States case from the Supreme Court. So it is, in a way, it's not legal, but the way that they do it, yes, it is. They do it the right way.
What they can often do, though, is say they got a bolo for somebody and they know their cell phone number and they get one of these fog companies to give them without getting a warrant. They can do it on the down low is the argument against this particular software and this particular information. They can go to a private broker, or they could go right to that company as an anonymous person, user, and purchase the data. So there's ways, in other words, law enforcement can cheat the system, which is, something we see more and more and more, especially with the FBI. Cheating the
Shortcuts.
system.
Yeah, shortcuts. That's true. And it says, where did I just see that at? Hold on. I'm going to be doing a lot more researching on this stuff now because thank you again for bringing this up, Jesse. Okay, so
Yeah, that
I
was
agree,
awesome.
Doug.
many of the smartphone apps people use every day are collecting data on their users, and we know that already. And in order to make money, many of these apps sell that information. One of the customers for this data in the U.S. government is the U.S. government, which regularly purchases commercially available geolocation data. This includes the Department of Defense, the CBP, ICE, which we know who ICE is, the IRS, and the Secret Service, but it violates the First and Fourth Amendments of the U.S. Constitution for the government to purchase commercially available location data it would otherwise have to get a warrant to acquire.
Right.
Basically, it's saying that they're taking a shortcut here,
Yeah.
okay? And they're not jumping on the
They're
legal
saying
side.
they can. They're not. They may not be necessarily accusing
can.
anybody.
Right. They can.
Somebody
Not that
made a
they're
good comment in the chat room. There is a great comment in the chat room in connection to this.
Okay.
And it says, and that's why Brian Kohlberger used the 12 times they located him as his alibi, because they know it will not show him at that house.
That's probably Kylie 888. What's interesting is if BK is using that as his alibi, he must know that they have no proof of his vehicle parked directly at 1122. Here's the thing: if like was it Clue that said this, that this is what Brian does, is this cloud-based forensics type stuff?
Yeah, it is a specialty in forensics, and you have to be super smart.
Let's take that into account, you guys. As I stated, because I'm on the middle of this, you guys know that. Brian didn't do it. Brian could have possibly done it. Brian could be that good that he knows that much about these things that are going to work for him that he doesn't have to put his hands on. Okay. This is one of these things that would make you question that scenario. Okay. He may have known all these things and said, well, I could do this, this, and this. And because of that, they can't touch me. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that makes me think Brian's guilty. I'm saying
That'd be wild.
These are the things that we don't really know that much about, that we're learning as time goes on, only because of this case. And it's stupid interesting to me now. I've never heard of this. Just like there was a comment made that we talked about this morning. I talked about with a couple other people, and it was really interesting to hear about that as well. I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm just telling you. There's these little things that we're pulling out of this case now that are being brought up, scientific aspects to this that are like, hey, how is this and this possible, but this isn't? And why can we do this, but we can't do that? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that make you look at things differently in this case now. And that's what I'm saying. But the one big thing that has made me nervous recently, and I think Clue kind of agrees a little bit too. Prosecution, the defense is the only person, they're the only ones that are talking about anything. The prosecution has been so super quiet with this, and it makes me nervous. It makes me go, they got to have something that they're sitting on that they're going to throw like a hard ball as soon as they get that chance.
Why do we matter? What, if they're still waiting on shit and tips and all this other stuff from other departments, wouldn't they have already given this ace in the hole to the defense? So why haven't we seen anything that we don't know about in any of the motions and any of the paperwork Ann's filed? Anything. We haven't seen nothing as far as evidence that we don't know about.
They're not ready.
Her fighting, her doing anything, her arguing, nothing.
That's the only thing I can think of, bud, is they're just not ready yet. They're waiting for maybe a specific time or a specific motion to be filed for them to ping, there it is, and everybody's going to go free.
So that was my question is, I didn't mean to interrupt Clue earlier, was, okay, put yourself in his shoes for a second, okay? And these are your rights and shit we're talking about. Do you think it's fair that there's no way in God's green earth you would have had or been able to have built a defense anywhere close around a fair, speedy trial? Because the prosecution, if they're still waiting on this, right, and it's been a year and change and they're still waiting on stuff, how are they going to get everything in 6 months? Would they have put a time constraint on everything and moved everything up to do it faster? Like how?
Did you hear the last hearing that was? Did you watch that last hearing? Okay, so they kind of contradicted themselves. If you remember that, he said, we can have this hearing in March of 20. I can't remember the exact time, and then at the same time later on down said, well, we won't really be ready until this time. What are they doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what gets me confused on this. Are they ready or are they not ready? We know the defense isn't ready. She said that, but he sounds at one point like he's ready, but then at the same time says he's not.
Well, I heard him, because he was like, "Oh, we're ready for this summer," and then she was like, "Well, I still got shit to go through," and they're like, "Oh, it's okay, we're still waiting on stuff anyway. It's cool." I was like, "Wait, what? Why would he even mention
On one
being
hand,
Yeah.
on one hand, they can prosecute. It makes me wonder: do they have? That's why I wonder if they have something else, because could they possibly prosecute with something they have right now, and then, but at the same time, maybe they have something bigger. I mean, that's what I'm saying, you guys. It doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but they're going back and forth with this at both things. So it makes me wonder how they may have.
When you don't know what they're accusing you of, the first rule of any lawyer is never ask a question you don't know the answer to. So you wouldn't jump into a trial unaware of what the prosecution has. And the prosecution delayed all of that nonsense up until the deadline. I see, in my opinion, he dropped his right to an immediate trial because they have no idea what the prosecution had in their possession at that point, and the clock was running out. He was kind of forced into that.
Yep.
Right. I mean, he didn't just decide one morning that was the better thing to do to wait. He couldn't get IGG information, discovery. How many times did they argue for that discovery before he actually dropped out? Was that
11, 12 motions.
Right. But what motion did he drop out? Number 10 or number 9?
11.
11.
So many of them he requested before he pulled that back from the speedy trial.
So that's what I mean. Exactly. How were they going to have a fair speedy trial if they wouldn't even hand over the IGG, which you just said forced him to? So how the hell was the death penalty even still on the table? Like you said, Dago, just in that aspect. I mean, it's absurd. He's being railroaded 100% in my opinion. I think that they went with the evidence that they gathered because they thought they were going to find everything in his phone, everything in his car, and everything in his home, and they didn't. And now they have to build a puzzle with the wrong pieces. Good luck.
Well, I mean, let me see something here. Somebody brought up this scrambler thing, I think, or they call them jammers, maybe, where they can kind of put your number, GPS blocker, signal jamming, all that kind of stuff. I can't say that that's something you can obviously legally use. I can't say that. I'm not going to say.
Remember when this came up way long time ago, Dago?
Yeah, I know, but I didn't pay much attention to it because I
showing you pictures of it in a car, and the pictures they were showing you were nonsense.
Yeah, that one. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what they're saying that is out there. I've never seen this stuff, you guys. I've never seen one. I've heard about it, but I don't know.
They were arguing the Stingray device was there and they were using it, and somebody was running around showing pictures of something.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah, I don't even. There's no evidence a Stingray device even exists out there.
Right, that's the thing, and that's what I've looked it up back then. I looked it up, and I can't find anything. Of course, it's probably not going to be out there just for us to say, "Hey, here it is." But I just don't think that's. I don't think that's legit, guys. I'm just saying it would be investigated to a point where, like, if that were to be brought into this situation, somebody's going to go, by the way, this, and this was probably used, and they're going to look into something like that and find that it's there or not. You know what I mean? Therefore, it would be in turn. You can't
even more. Doesn't it get even more complex than that? That then they had to pre-plan the who they were going to get, and they had to pick Koberger, and then they had to come in with this thing, and by the time you're done with it, it's like, I don't know. It gets out of hand with what if, coulda, shoulda, maybe. I don't know.
But my question is, Sarge. Okay, don't you think they would have brought him in for questioning if he was this much of a threat?
I suspect that they did it. I suspect they may have.
So you think they actually brought him in as a suspect at one time?
I suspect that he may have been asked questions. Sure, especially when they identified his car by the policeman.
So you think he actually came in and answered some questions?
I think they got hot for teacher way earlier than we realized, and I don't think they did it because that they were trying to snare the guy illegally. I think they saw stuff from the original information, and they just tunneled in on it. But again, we won't know until the trial. I really don't. I can't buy into this idea they planted a phone with a Stingray device that's used for. I just can't go there. But when you look at the timeline, like Lena put the timeline up, they were keen to a lot of things that a lot of us forget happened in November. and early December. So yeah,
Mhm.
these people had information they were acting on. I don't know for a fact they questioned Brian or approached him, but they were approaching everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And they say they surreptitiously, which is a word we all love, grabbed DNA from a cigarette butt. So when they identified the man's car and said that he kind of fits the description, why wouldn't they question him? Right? What would have made them conclude at that moment, this is the guy, we got to be careful? I don't think there would have been anything at that moment in time. I think what they didn't do was a thorough investigation. They could have surreptitiously searched his car and his apartment and used swabs on different things he had contact with. He could follow him for a paper cup he disposed. Or there were a lot of things they could have done that they obviously did not do until after the arrest. Right? And that's my biggest. That's what.
Or
got
at
me
least try to pin something on him to hold him, and because again, he was teaching students, dude. You know, like he's in the presence of how many kids are in that class? 100, 200? I don't know. So, I mean, what if he took out the same K-bar and went nuts again? I mean, that's what I can't figure out is, you know, find something. If you think he did it and he's that dangerous and you arrest him, you know, a couple days down the road, why don't you just come up with something to hold him?
Why not ask him for his DNA? Why not do all the investigative processes they saved until after an arrest?
Yeah, he signed up to be a whatever for him. I mean, you shouldn't have, you know, that's probably the one person you would feel comfortable calling up and saying, hey, man, you know, I know, you know, you asked to come here and help us and blah, blah, but, you know, I know, obviously, you know, you have a white vehicle. You mind coming in? Oh, yeah, sure. You know, or no, go fuck, you know, whatever.
Even worse, if they would have done a proper investigation prior to the warrant, would a judge have given a warrant if there were no known DNA contamination between him and the victims in any location he's ever been? And knowing that, would the police have gone forward and asked for an arrest warrant on this guy? I don't think they would have.
No.
Right? You got 3 other unidentified male DNA samples. That's exactly why they wouldn't have arrested him with the PCA, because then they would have tried to create something out of those samples and then try to find identities to those samples and then investigate them properly. See, to me, that again, that's why I got into this, because it looked to me like they jumped with the arrest and then did the investigation. And the arrest is based, as Clues pointed out 1 billion times, on just the IgG.
There you go. So you're kind of where I'm at then, is they were banging on finding the golden treasure, and they found aluminum.
Yeah, they ran with the IgG stuff. And then they found out later that none of the IgG could be used in any of the samples from his car because none of it attached to the victims, nor in his house or his apartment, his place of work. It's like, how many places does it not need to show up before you get off the idea that he did it?
What if we get to the trial? Okay, I have a question for you guys. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I've been thinking about this because it's been brought to my attention multiple times. What if we get to the trial and it comes out that they did find the DNA from the victims on something that belongs to him, that you know, even if it's a little bit.
He's cooked. I mean, that's a stake right there. Nobody wants
and
to
that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know that there's a grand possibility that they have something there that they're just.
But why haven't we seen anything about it in paperwork?
They couldn't withhold it from the defense. If the defense can make the statement, they must have given them the reports of their investigation into those areas.
I got you.
If any of those areas, it seems inclusive to me. What else could it be? I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't think Ann would give a shit about IgG right now if they had something like, you know, something like that.
Well,
right. I understand.
She would be, because she's going to argue this legal point anyway. Some of the stuff she's doing, she has to do to defend, so that you can't say she didn't defend her client properly and he gets another trial. She has to do a lot of this stuff, and some of it's obvious. After 11,
so you're saying. So yeah, but what Dago's saying is basically, but if she came out and said, Dago, that they didn't find anything in his house, apartment, office, car, whatever, you're saying something like, where else would they have found something, do you think?
It could have came after she dropped that info.
Oh, okay.
They pulled something. That's all I'm just saying, what if, guys, because I'm trying to be, you know, devil's advocate.
Oh, no, I was just asking, like, where, you know, they might have found something.
CL makes a good point too. You know, the defense attorneys are going to look for evidence that they can get him off on with reasonable doubt. Bingo. Now, that's the point here. We have to remember it's not the defense's job to prove that he didn't do this. It's the prosecution's job to prove that he did do that. We know that already. Okay.
And the only person that could have done this.
Mm-hmm.
Them
Because
12
they-
previous
they-
trips may have been trackable. Listen, this would be kind of smart. I think I don't know if you guys alluded to this, but you got 12 instances that are completely trackable, but the 13th is interrupted by the phone being off and untrackable. And the 12 proved that he was nowhere near that house to surveil it. Right? The 13th being an unknown because the phone was off.
Yeah. You still here,
Right.
Clue?
Yeah, I'm just letting the men talk. I'm over here cooking in the corner.
Well, what do you
Jamaican.
What was the
Do you
question?
have any thoughts on what was just talked about? Or did you not hear it? Because you was cooking. And that's okay if you didn't. No big deal.
I still stand with what I said in the beginning. You guys got his name on 11/29, allegedly from WSU police officers. You didn't do anything with him until 12/26.
That's
Three.
another thing that was brought up though. But did he? Did they possibly maybe? And they're just not letting on to that?
I mean, why would you put that in your PCA on 12 whatever? I obtained records for his phone.
I agree.
They're not trying to show their hand, Clue.
No, they showed their.
You know where I stand, and I've not changed my stance on this. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. That's all.
Oh, I know.
Listen,
Trust me. I know.
I will say this. The only thing that makes me think maybe they were doing something, at least talking about him. You have to take it with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah.
But there is an interview from Stephen Christie where
that's what
she
we're doing.
says on the 13th, his name was being thrown around. Right. So it does make you kind of think that he was in the pool of possibles, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the question is,
why wasn't he
if
so
you're looking at him, right? Like if you were looking at him on the 13th, you had 60 FBI agents at your disposal. Like you say jump, they say how high. Why wouldn't you collect his DNA? Why wouldn't you go monitor him, look at him, watch him?
Go to his school, go to his apartment, go to his barber. They just cut his hair.
Because you can do, like, I know people don't like to think about it, but the FBI, like, nobody governs them. They can do all kind of covert type of stuff. Right. So why wouldn't you wait until you have 2 agents, have one guy watch him when he's in the class and he's teaching or something, go to his office, get you a DNA sample, then the 2 of you roll out. It doesn't make any sense. It's
he doesn't own the office.
I also think that the original tunnel vision may have interfered with that.
It's one of 2 things.
I think originally when they said it looked like a crime of passion,
See, this is why I don't talk
in their circle.
I'm just gonna say this is why I don't speak.
You interrupted her again, Sarge.
My apologies.
It's one of 2 things. They didn't take the tip from WSU seriously, or the tip was thrown in after to fit their narrative. Okay. Or someone or the IGG came back and then they were like, oh, we've heard that name before. Or somebody turned him in when he got home for vacation.
But what do you think about the Indiana stops, though? Do you think those were just, whatever? Or do you think they were involved? Because if they were involved, then that would say that that's not how that went. You know what I mean? That's why this gets hard, guys.
Well, they still could have got the IGG back.
Yeah. I can go with that. Yes.
You know what? Now that you just said that, it almost does make me think it is the IGG, because the Gonzalez is saying his name was being thrown around on the 13th. He gets stopped on the 15th. Now the FBI says
where I was going with that. Yeah.
They said there's nothing to do with that, though, right? They didn't.
Yeah, but maybe because they're. Do you think they would admit they're okay if they got an ace of spades in their hand? They're going to say, "Yeah, we did that because of this," because then they're going to look at it's going to be looked at in that way. This was the whole secrecy side of it, in my opinion. I swear that had something to do with it. I really do. I really, really do. They don't have to tell us anything they do. You know that.
No, I agree.
They
I
don't
think
have to tell us
No,
nothing.
but they're gonna have to explain it during trial.
I personally feel like it was the IGG that came back, and the IGG led them right to him. Now, what I am not convinced of is that any of that crap from WSU happened. Maybe, maybe not. Like, they could have put that in there to make it look like that's how they got to him. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this for a long time, that they did this so quickly. Okay, they did this so offhanded. I'll just put it that way. They had to build a story to make it work. And I'm not saying they did anything illegal, guys. That's not what I mean by this. Okay, and don't take it that way. They do things the way they do things, and they get results for reasons. Okay. End of story. That's just all I'm saying is, like, I feel like they had an idea and they couldn't make it happen the way they wanted to in a fast fashion. And we all know that they had somewhat of a deadline that they were trying to work with. So I think they did what they had to do to make this happen, and then waited and said it'll come back in the end. It'll all work itself out. Okay.
Yep.
And I think that's where we're at with this. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I honestly think that the path of events mimic to the point where they did not give him strong consideration because he was one of them, right? He was in the school. He was a teacher. They had his name. They didn't give him much consideration. They were focusing on the inner circle or the people connected to the victims, because we all know most people, that's how you get off, by someone you know. And they just let him sit. And then when Clue said the IGG sent them on a rampage, that's exactly when they came to the conclusion it had to be him, and they went and tried to put the case together against him.
Yeah, it feels that way. But let me tell you this much.
That could make
Sarge,
sense.
You said focusing on the inner circle.
Right.
I don't know how convinced I am of that, considering in July, you guys
Bingo.
are just now pulling a TikTok for Ethan, Dylan, and Bethany.
Bingo.
It may have taken them this long to come around to it. We couldn't talk about it on the internet until just weeks ago. You'd be talking.
So how you gonna have it?
That's different though, Sarge. That's
I don't know. People suffer from tunnel vision, where people don't want to just go there sometimes.
So okay, so the person that waited 8 hours to call and all that kind of shit, who's to say that she didn't message somebody on her Instagram, on her TikTok or whatever to come over and perform this crime? That would be directly on her social media that they didn't get till July, she just said, of 23. So
there would have been an arrest. There would have been an arrest, and they'd have been watching her like a hawk too. I mean,
but what I'm saying is she was never a suspect.
Right. I agree.
Right. I agree with that too.
That
it doesn't appear that she was treated as one.
No, she was interview. Everything's an interview, right?
I've been calling her statement an alibi since I got on this nightmare.
Yeah.
So if they're not even looking at her, what the hell do they care about an inner circle? I mean, it's crazy to me.
Exactly, Jesse. Or come clean a crime scene. That's another point too. So yeah, I get it, guys. I see it all the way around, for what it is. So.
And can I just say also that there was mention by the police of microscopic particles in their investigation, their search for DNA and blah, blah, blah. Lana had it on her stream yesterday. And that to me, I would use against the state, because if you're so aware that the collection of that data could result in a conviction or a suspect, then why did you go into that house with windbreakers you wore at the gas station? Right? Why did you get out of a car that God knows how many suspects have been in near it or touched it? Why would you get out of your car in your street clothes and walk into a crime scene and then look for microscopic information? Shouldn't you be protecting yourself from depositing microscopic data before you do this work? For God's sakes, these people are they're like a bull in a china shop, and then they're going to come out of the china shop with one little chip from the plate and identify everything in the store. It's incredible, man.
I would just ask the prosecution, did you guys write DNA 1, DNA 2, DNA 3, DNA 4, put in a hat and to pick one, and then that's the only one that you focused on? Like, I can't figure that part out, on how a jury is going to hear that and take that for what everybody, I feel, should take it as. I don't know. So I just don't see 12 people agreeing. You might not be found not guilty the first time, but I think it's going to be a hung jury, and more than one person is going to say no. I just can't. I can't get there.
I'm looking at chat now. Am I missing something in chat? Did
That's
somebody
what
say
I
that?
said.
I'm
I'm
trying
like,
to see
what?
it now.
I'm watching it.
What
I will
happened?
say this much. I do find it, you got to, I don't care who you are and what side you're on, you have to find it a little suspect that they just completely ignore the presence of other DNA there.
Well, and that's yeah,
AG.
that's a problem. And we argued this, God, months and months and months ago about how it was just okay to just let that be, what Thompson said. Well, you can't show anything if you don't have. Well, that should have been looked at a little more under the microscope, in my opinion. And they let it go. That was a problem for me. Okay, that I agree with. They should have said, hey, what do you mean? This is a quadruple homicide. Like, it's not just that we ran out of Cocoa Puffs here, folks. We have to make something happen with this. And
Well,
you can't just let
what
that
if the
go.
other, Dago, what if
He's
the other three
depleted.
DNA samples are actually blood and not transfer?
Well, they were
Right.
still
We make a lot
degraded,
of
though.
Wait a
Remember?
second. Wait a second. What if the sample they got was either degraded or so small that they couldn't get a hit and CODIS? My point is, we don't know what the other three samples of DNA consist of.
Yeah,
At all.
Exactly.
It could have been blood from the wielder of that knife, for all we know. How do we
Yes.
know that the DNA they focused on is the only DNA involved, if in
Thank
fact
you.
it's involved at all? So
Thank you.
the idea that they
Well, we
left
don't.
3 of them sitting is just ridiculous.
And it's crazy because they literally ruled them out on like criteria that Brian met. They weren't in CODIS.
Right.
They
Neither was
knew,
Brian.
yeah, that
But
was
they
it.
only built a tree for one of them. It's wow, fantastic work, guys.
Yeah, this
Yeah, that was the problem. I'm trying to still figure out here what in chat you guys were trying to get out.
how far back?
I saw like one person say something. I said out of the ordinary.
I've seen a lot of talk about the scene being unprofessional and all of that.
Well, yeah, Jerry's gonna have to see that too, as I'm walking out without gloves on and
All the stuff that we know about. They got it on 11/20 and held it for 10 days. Are you talking about up down ingenuity? Sorry. That's who said something. I'm trying to find it back here. I'm sorry. There's like 300 people in here, so my apologies. I'm just trying to catch up. Or are we trying? Repeat what you were saying, up down. I'm sorry. There's issues. Believe me, there's issues, and they need to be acknowledged. I agree. Okay. But they're not going to. And in my opinion, the judge just said, okay, I'll take what you said, and that's God's word.
Well, you saw him chuckle. Did you see him chuckle when he talked about the appeals?
Yes.
Like he sees what's like. He's not stupid. He sees what we see, and I felt so bad that if the families thought that.
Okay, the Reddit warrant. That's where it is. Okay, I'm sorry you typed it 20 times. I said there's 300 people in here. I'm trying to keep up with.
It's funny though. He typed out "Don't bother me no more" in essence, when he could have typed out the same thing again.
Basically. So okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't see it.
Shit, I forgot what I asked. Remember.
It only goes back so far. That's the other problem, is it only goes back so far. So
yeah, the judge the judge kind of smirked. He was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a long time of appeals."
It's been held. It's from 11/20, and they held it for 10 days till WSU gave them what they needed to use it. It's the only warrant held. Is that what you were saying? Is that what you were talking about? I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's up and down just said that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me double check to make sure there's nothing else there.
I haven't seen it. I'm aware of. Maybe I haven't.
From 11/20, and they held it for 10 days till WSU gave them what they needed to use it. It's the only warrant held. Okay. Well, I mean, any comments on that?
I haven't seen the warrant. I can't relate to what they're saying because
The Reddit warrant. I mean, I can pull it up. I think it's in
Oh,
the
is that like fugitive from justice or something?
Actually,
is
I don't
that-
have the damn Reddit warrant. I don't think. Do we have that? Is that in the documents?
What warrant is it?
The warrant for the.
Oh, never mind.
For
Y'all
what?
are saying to search Reddit. Hold on, I'll look.
I was gonna say, was there an actual warrant for that?
I thought there was, but
Because I thought that they blew that off like it was.
They filed for a search warrant but didn't use it for a period of time.
Oh, okay. I missed all that. I can't see all of this stuff in chat, you guys. I'm trying. I'm sorry.
oh, I
The
see
search
it.
warrant is on
Apologize.
the documents.
The Reddit warrant was filed on
Look at me.
Is it in the documents, Clue?
March 7, 2023.
All right, I'll pull it right now.
He's saying it's from 11. Oh, going back to 11/20 forward, maybe.
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
The
Let me
DoorDash
see.
delivery was highly redacted. That
On
one.
November 20th. Oh, wait.
Hold on a minute. Give me a second to pull it up.
So she thinks they knew it was Brian Koberger on 11/20.
Mm-hmm.
But do we know?
But I gotta drop down because I gotta go pick up my daughter from the bus stop. I just wanted to pop up and just say, the more that comes out, the more I just keep thinking he's getting railroaded because they're trying to make it all fit. So I just it's like I said, it's like Groundhog Day, dude. You wake up, they drop something new, you think it's gonna, and then you just wind up back at the same square one, which is we gotta wait till trial anyway. So
I agree.
I think that warrant was still looking for people close to the victim.
So you guys have a good one. There you go. Have a great day.
Yeah, I appreciate your input, bud.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
See you, chat.
But it's only for Kaylee.
Yeah, like I said, I think they were searching for people connected to the victims. That's what they were hunting for. Somebody they could tie directly to the victims through
where was that dated for again?
11/20 was when it was applied for.
Okay, then.
Served
So they were
12/1/22.
Yeah, it was from. Hold on.
They were still looking.
Yeah. I don't think that has anything to do with. Well, we don't know, but it doesn't appear like it's got anything to do with Koberger. If it was searched
11/20 through 22, and it was served on December 1st of 22. So
and the target is Kaylee's Reddit. Whose Reddit is
Yes,
being
it's
targeted?
Kaylee's.
Yeah. So again, they're looking for someone they can connect to her.
it's okay. You said it was in the documents, Clue, and it dated. What was the date on the document?
11/20, and it was served December 1st.
Gotcha. Wait a minute. Nope.
It was
No, you're gonna need to look March 7th.
Okay, thank you.
and in that it'll show you all these dates apparently.
Right.
Okay, so we have the lots of them.
You want me to share it?
No, I can pull it here, but there's a lot of the holy shit, there's a lot from that day. Maybe you better because there's only like 45 warrants that day or documents that day. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead and there you go. Just throw it in here and I'll throw it up.
Up and down is saying put 2 and 2 together. Why did they wait till why did they use it on 12/1?
Order to seal and redact. This matter came before court February 10th. Okay, so
Not
we
unusual
pull
for
that.
warrants to be held.
No, they've done
this
that
one.
before.
This one will just be for resealing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was filed.
Order to seal. That was
22nd
all
day of
phones,
December.
T-Mobile, the bank, Snap Incorporated, PayPal, Venmo, Meta
So
platform.
right here, on November 20th, I obtained a search warrant for Reddit.com. The warrant was served on December 1st, 22 by email. December 19th, I received an email from Reddit which contained the requested information. And then you look what they were looking for, and it's all about Kaylee. But
Right.
it does make me feel like there might be something else here.
Well, there was. They redacted that. It's gone.
Yeah, because that's a period. So
That's the phone number. And then the rest of that's taken out. So, yeah.
sometimes they give a little more information,
Mhm.
but not really. Kaylee Gonzalez, email blank or blank. Okay, so they just put out her second email.
Right.
So yeah, it's all for Kaylee. But what are we talking about this for?
Because who was it? Up Down Ingenuity. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to pull something up.
Why did they use it on 12/1?
He's suggesting that there's a meaning to why they didn't. Up and Down, he says, come on, you guys, put 2 and 2 together. Why did they use it on 12/1? I don't know.
On November 20th.
Well, give us your
served.
thoughts on it, Up Down. What do you think that was done for? Why?
Why the delay? 11 days.
Yeah, I'm not. This is the only one for Reddit.
Yeah.
Right. And they replied by December 19th.
How many other warrants were held? Well, there was, I just pulled up a ton of them.
Oh, yeah, there was literally
like 14 or 15 different, everything. That was when everything came out, was on the 7th, right?
yeah. So, well, no, not everything. So look,
just about. Yeah.
You got here 228. Okay, you start Amazon, American Express, 4 Apples, right? AT&T, Bank of America. So it's all like 228, 31, 32, 37.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they really don't.
AG just spit it out on 11/29. Isn't that when they became aware of Kohlberger or somewhere in that time period? What happened on 11/29, folks? I don't know why you just don't put forward what it is you're thinking, telling or showing the chat room and us. You know what's on your mind. What are you pointing out?
2 and 2 together. I'm not able to at this point because there's a lot to look at. But they had. Hold on.
Maybe they're just saying because once they got.
But wait a minute. They had set up BK the whole time. It's the only warrant they held before serving. They held on to it before serving.
Well,
I don't understand how that would make a difference, though.
I'm trying to look.
Wouldn't. Because on the 29th, he's suggesting they got Kohlberger's name, and then in fact they served the warrant. But the idea they went to Reddit before then, on 11/20. Well, I mean, so now, I don't. I have a hard time with the cops intentionally set the guy up because of the way the timelines unroll, and there's nothing really to support that definitively, and even to get us to there, other than you can assume that date means they waited to set them up, but it can also be that warrants sometimes are held for a lot of multitude of reasons. Some of them are just the guy forgot to file it.
AG said they found BK's car in 11/29 and then served the search warrant.
Right.
So they had the search warrant. They waited until they found his car and then they served it.
And that could be a coincidence, though.
Yeah, but like, what about the car made them think Reddit? You know what I mean? Like,
right. They were searching all kinds of different electronic things, everything they could think of for the victims. Right. I don't know. Well, if the time will tell if that has any relevance to it at all. The date, the separation in time. I don't know.
Doodle said, after being gone for a bit, I have to say, Sarge, that you have calmed down. I see you trying, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you, Doodle.
It's easy when you're with a company you like keeping.
I tell you what, guys, just because I love you all, I will sit down tonight and make an Excel spreadsheet of all these warrants, when they got them and when they filed them, served them, whatever.
you said the other Reddit warrant or the other Reddit search warrant wasn't obtained until January 25th.
All right, let me look for a second one.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I agree with Firefly. I don't see a connection, and it's nothing against you, Up Down. I'm just not
No, it's his opinion.
putting it
which is
together.
fine.
You know, that's why we do this kind of stuff, you guys, so that
At
we
least
can.
you're using data and drawing a conclusion from data. Its accuracy can only be verified as time goes by, right?
Right.
It's not like he made up some fake warrant for Reddit. He's not making stuff up. This is factual information.
Yeah, right, and that's why
It's
I'm
always
glad you
awesome
point
to
these
see
things
it.
out. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't see these unless you say it. So that's bingo.
absolutely. There's no downside to doing what they're doing.
Not at all. Sinner and Saint says, I've got the spreadsheet of the warrants. Okay. Well,
Someone has a spreadsheet. Lou, your work has been cut in half.
I know Sleuthy probably has them too. She does a lot of stuff with spreadsheets, but I guess I'm gonna have to sit down and take the time and like look at that then, because I didn't see
This one, right, guys? Am I there now?
affidavit of Lawrence Marriott. Yeah, I think that's the. But I don't think this is what Up Down was talking about. That
warrant
this
was
one
served the next day.
Yeah, this one was obtained January 25th.
Well,
served on.
Is this true right here? What Sinners and Saints just said? Plus, they submitted a warrant for Reddit and it was filed wrong. Was that the one that was filed the wrong way?
Yeah, I remember there was a warrant they had to resubmit. I'm not sure if it happened to just one, but there definitely, I remember one that was that way. They didn't have the right identifying something for the individual they were seeking the information on.
I remember.
I think that was Instagram.
Yeah.
I remember one being that way, but I couldn't remember if it was this one or not.
Kaylee's, Greg.
So
it was Kaylee's Reddit account.
So we don't see who this one was about.
Oh shit. King Charles.
Yeah, this one they don't tell you.
Wait, back up 2 pages. It did say Brian Koberger. With any of the Idaho on the Reddit account of Brian Koberger with any of the following identifiers, email addresses. So that one is specific to check an account for Brian Koberger. And what date is that warrant?
This was January 25th.
Yeah, after the arrest. Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
That was Sinner says that was his student survey.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah. Maybe she replied to his student survey.
You never know.
And they're using that as a connection.
Oh shit.
Dang.
Oh wow, wait a minute.
What?
Okay, let's take this back a step. Hold on a minute. And I'm not trying to go down no rabbit holes, but just think with me for a second. There was a point in time when it was talked about that Kaylee was interested in true crime, right?
Yeah.
She followed Chronicles of Olivia. That was her channel. She was into this kind of stuff, so on and so forth. And then he puts out his survey, and she lives in this area. I wonder. Well, maybe she did respond to it.
Right.
Just out of curiosity, you know what I mean? Because it was something she was interested in.
Yeah.
Shit. I never thought about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense.
Oh, wow.
It's not a guilty, that doesn't impugn anybody, but I'm sure they were looking for that, right?
Definitely an interesting theory. The defense would consider that a connection then.
Which one of the people or the girls came back for that weekend?
Yeah, it was no, she wasn't a criminal Firefly, but anybody could have responded just out of curiosity, like why are you doing this? Not that she responded as in answering the questions, but like, hey, what's the basis? Just response in general. You know what I'm saying? It's very possible. I mean, that's interesting.
Wait a second. Also, when was the survey posted? Wasn't he at the other school when he did that? Wasn't he in Pennsylvania doing the Zoom school?
Oh, you mean the original.
Yeah, wasn't that questionnaire done during his studies? Did he do it
Yeah,
during
it
the
was
time he
it
was
was
in
a
Idaho,
long
or did he do it from
it was a
Pennsylvania?
long time ago. It was
Yeah, he's
it was
he
a
posted,
Yeah,
long
that's a long time ago.
yeah, he posted
Yes.
that when he was at the sales. That's right.
Yeah. So even if she did respond, it would have been so he targeted Idaho just so he could bump into Kaylee.
Did that draw him here though? That's what you know what I mean? That was that well, no. When did he leave the sales? Does anybody know when he left the sales?
No. But
I
he
can't
showed up
remember.
over here in June or something. Didn't he just show up
He
over
came,
here last
he came,
spring or
yeah,
something?
he came in June. That's right.
Right.
June of 22.
So yeah, it's like they're reaching for straws, trying to make a connect. That's what I see here. When the FBI went back with 3D scanners and all of this other stuff, I just think that they put themselves behind the 8 ball. They came out of the gate too fast on this individual.
Yeah,
and I think now really the delays and the jerking around, I think adds to that particular point because
he graduated to sales in May of 22, and he left there and came directly here in June. Jesus, he didn't wait no time at all.
No, he was accepted. He wanted out. Bye-bye, Ma. Bye-bye, Dad.
Yeah, I get it.
Living out of the house now.
I don't know if that wouldn't have any basis at all. But the other side of it, you know, I'm going to look into that warrant though, at least, and see if there's any.
Okay, I think that's pretty much been hashed out here with the timing.
Hold on, stop. Freeze that for a minute, Clue. What is the ICAR in there? The Idaho rule in that warrant. What does it state?
Here?
Yeah, isn't there one in there? It refers to an ICAR rule. Is it in there? Hold on. They all have one, I thought. Floating in an ocean of bullshit. That's a good way to put it, Paladin.
I'm looking.
That's all right. Take your time. It might be back at the beginning.
Oh, right here.
All right, let me pull that up. Hold on a minute. Let me clear this out first.
Idaho code 74124. But that's to seal it.
Idaho code, what is it?
74124, but I think that's just to seal it, right?
That's that the only one in there?
I'm looking. State's motion to redact. Now here's two more if you want to look at these.
Well, let me write them down then. Hold on.
But I think it tells you right here what they are.
Can you read them to me real quick?
Yeah, it's ICAR.
Yep.
32 parentheses little I.
Yeah.
And then the second one is ICAR 32 parentheses little I parentheses 2 parentheses big A.
Okay, those are the only ones. Okay.
There was one.
That's cool. Let me see something here. Because I have been looking at these recently.
That's 74124.
74124, right? All right. So all right, so 72124 is exemptions from disclosure and confidentiality. Okay. Here, hold on a minute. Let me show you. Just so you guys know. Right, that's the 72124. Exemptions from disclosure, confidentiality. Notwithstanding any statute or rule of the court or the contrary, nothing in this chapter nor chapter 10, title 59, Idaho Code shall be construed to require disclosure of investigatory records compiled for law enforcement purposes by a law enforcement agency. But such exemption from disclosure applies only to the extent that the production of such records would And it says in there, interfere with enforcement proceedings, deprive a person of a right to it. We know all those things that we see all the time. Constitute unwarranted invasion of personal privacy, disclosure of a confidential source, and in this case of a record compiled by a criminal law enforcement agency in the course of a criminal investigation, confidential information furnished only by the confidential source, disclose investigative techniques and procedures, and endanger life and physical safety of law enforcement personnel, or disclose the identity of a reporting party maintained by any law enforcement entity or the Department of Health and Welfare relating to the investigation of child abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Okay, so, all right, that's that one. Hold on a minute here. Yes, I agree. Now let me back that up real quick. You guys still in here?
Yep.
Yeah. Can I just respond quickly to up and down?
You go ahead. I don't know.
We don't have any definitive explanation as to why they waited 10 days. There's nothing to suggest anything good, bad, or indifferent. We don't know.
I mean, on the AT&T one, right? They filed for it on 3/30 and they served it on 4/3.
Yeah, so there's a few days delay.
Okay, so 32 pre-sentence investigations and reports. When pre-sentence investigations are to be ordered, okay, and that's B. So let me see here. Description of situations surrounding the criminal activity which the defendant has been charged, including the defendant's version of the criminal act and the defendant's explanation for the act, the arresting officer's version or report of the offense where available, and the victim's version where relevant to the sentencing decision. 2 is any prior criminal record of the defendant. And then is there a 2A? Or let's see. Previous charges against the defendant. And then that goes back to A. There is no A. Oh, when the pre-sentence investigations are to be ordered. The trial judge may, but is not required to order a pre-sentence investigation with respect to felony convictions. If the trial court does not require pre-sentence, the court must affirmatively wise such an investigation. So basically, I don't think that would pertain to this then.
No, it wouldn't.
And then we have
It wouldn't.
32I. Okay, so that's what this is.
I'm trying to understand the delay, and I don't think these ICRs are going to have any explanation to the delay.
Let me get to I.
That was the main topic. The ICR, just to me doesn't have anything to do with it.
Where the hell is I? H. Disclosure of pre-sentence. H. I don't see the
4. Keep going.
32I2A. 32I2A. Damn. I don't even see the I in here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I didn't put it in right. 32.
I'm not saying you're on the wrong rule. Sinner and Saints says True Crime Cafe with Dago. You're on the wrong rule. Do you know what the rule is or what it is you were pointing out or whoever?
I thought it was the ICAR 32I and then 32I2A. We already did the 74 one. If I'm wrong, correct me, guys. I'm sorry. All right, which one is it? F. All materials discoverable by defendant per ICR 16B 18. Okay. Oh, it's 16, not 32. I'm sorry, guys.
And the letter F. Look, all material. Wait. It just jumped up. Materials discoverable by defendant per ICR 16. Quotes B, quote I-8. It's in the. I'll put it in the private chat so you got it. I just copied it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I pulled up the wrong one. My apologies. I just went based off of what I thought they said, but
That's
Hold
the ICR they're looking for right there. I put it in the private chat for you.
It's not, that's not the link though, but I'll type it in. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't have the link. She just
That's
gave
all
us
right.
the
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I got it here.
Thanks,
I thought
Finner,
that's
and thanks.
what you were doing. All right, so we got
Flattery will get you everywhere, Victoria.
16 B. Aha, that's why I didn't put in the damn quotation things. That's it. There we go. Is that an I, Sarge, or a 1? I think it's an I.
I don't have my reading glasses. They were a victim of a sneeze, so I had to get rid of them.
I bet they were.
Chloe,
Hmm.
welcome to the Dago Show.
Shut up.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I can't do girl voices.
I can't hear.
I won't even say who you sound like when you do that.
No, just let it be.
Who do I sound like? Go ahead.
Actually, I will. I'm going to put it in the back chat.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's see what.
Oh my God. Yeah, we just
Oh,
built
wow. Okay,
our
then.
level of trust has turned into a high level of hate, but we'll get over it maybe.
That's not true. What are you saying?
Discovery and inspection is rule 16, and then we got 16B1, disclosure of evidence and materials by prosecution on written request, and then statement of defendant on written request of a defendant. The prosecuting attorney must permit the defendant to inspect and copy or photograph. And then we got number 8. Police reports on written request of the defendant. The prosecuting attorney must furnish to the defendant reports and memoranda in possession of the prosecuting attorney that were made by a police officer or investigator in connection with the investigation or prosecution of the case. That sound right, guys?
Sure.
Right, but she's pointing out or by a co-defendant. However, that's statutory statements in that particular ICR. That doesn't mean that there's a co-defendant in the case. In other words, that statement wouldn't be unique to just this particular case.
Oh, I see what they're saying now.
See what they're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, so if he made a statement and they're recorded the statement, then that statement then has to be given to him. The time, if they can't give him a written statement, he could take a photo of whatever it is.
Yeah, I see what they're
And
saying.
then the written statement itself.
16B. Okay. God, there's so much of this.
His statement, right.
16. Jesus. Where's this?
You're right, Sinner. They said they did have a conversation or something. They did talk to him.
Disclosure of evidence and materials by the prosecution on written request, except as otherwise provided in this rule. The prosecuting attorney must, at any time following the filing of charges on written request by the defendant, disclose the following information, evidence, and material to the defendant. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you, LA. And sinners, saints, and up, down. Thank you guys. All of you guys. This is why we do this, guys. Or recording. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Huh.
Clue, you're being said to you're slacking is the statement in the room from Just Snooping.
Clue is slacking. His statement.
Oh no, I'm putting the spreadsheet together.
They got a search warrant for UPS in Pullman, Washington, not Moscow. UPS. Like he sent something there?
Or had it delivered.
or had something delivered to PA or in Pullman.
What?
Sorry, I got my Pullman. There we go. I don't know why I said PA. UPS,
I mean,
Washington, not Moscow, which would have been his address then.
yeah, a lot of times, like, you ever had, like, you order something and you're not there to get it, and the mailman's like, you can pick it up,
Yeah, you get that slip thing for it.
or they could have just been the person that brought something.
Are they asking for video cam footage from the UPS truck in Pullman?
That's what I had heard back in the day. But
Center saying USPS, which is the postal service, not UPS. Okay. Wow, you guys are making me think today. Shit.
Do you think they searched all the victims and survivors searches for K-bar knives and purchasing them somewhere?
Well, they did search. They went on Amazon and found that he had purchased one on Amazon.
Not, they didn't say did they say he purchased a K-bar?
What was how did that go down, Clue? Do you remember about the
They
Amazon?
didn't identify it as a K-bar.
oh my goodness, why am I always the person? Yes, so the way it works on Amazon, if you list stuff for sale, you get an AZN number, right? Every AZN number is specific to a certain product. They messed up the warrants and they searched eBay with AZN numbers, which doesn't come back anything because eBay does not use AZN numbers. However, through days of looking up this BS, I figured out the AZN number they were looking for led directly to a knife and knife sheath, 1 K-bar and 1 K-bar leather knife sheath, USMC and printed.
Yes. So that did come back that way.
As a search for Brian?
Yeah.
That's the last one you get for free.
You're the Amazon queen. That's why we ask you that. Am I wrong?
Just because I shop there. Well, yeah, I sell on there too. So yeah, okay.
See, I understood that warrant. They listed the items they took from his parents' house. Is that where that?
No,
It's
it's in the Amazon search warrant, which is somewhere.
They did have to sign for mail to get mail center. That's true. That was stated in an interview with Steve. Firefly says, but it didn't show that BK was the one that purchased it. I don't recall. Okay. So
Yeah, I don't remember that being attributed directly to
this is where the confusion was. This happened before too. I don't believe
this came up before with that knife.
What they wanted.
And I don't believe they attributed that knife to Brian Koberger purchasing it from Amazon.
I can find it if you guys want me to.
It was not Koberger that purchased it, according to, I can't say the name. Usually I have issues with that. They did a brown. I guess someone is. I remember this Green Punk said they were looking for the searches, the browsing, and click history on Amazon.
The browsing history, right?
They don't got proof that he purchased a knife, a K-bar knife and sheath from Amazon. That was talked about a long time ago.
Hold on.
That free one is starting to get mighty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
She's keeping daughter. She'd hit me back.
Mm-hmm.
Dago, what kind of cake did you have this weekend?
My mother-in-law made a double chocolate with chocolate icing.
Ooh.
And then it had cherries around it too. It was good. Very good.
Oh yeah, man, that would be good. Now I'm in the mood for a cake.
Then they asked for a list of items added to his wish list or in his cart, but not purchased. Okay. And they found nothing.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had trouble with that back then too. So hey,
Kelly, I remember that being a big conversation in the stream.
Yeah, we struggled on that.
That was before that. Remember that was when the car would be a petri dish. That they had proof he bought the knife. all of that fake news was coming out. Everybody was jumping on this bandwagon, and then, that hasn't been used as proof. Nobody's ever said, I believe he's guilty because of his Amazon knife purchase since that all got hashed out.
I don't know if you see it, Clue, but 12 said, congrats on the 1,000 views. Just
1 million, but thank you.
You hit 1 million
Not
views?
not to toot my own horn, but that was 1 million.
Damn. On what?
What do you mean on my channel?
The word she speaks per second.
Oh, on your channel you hit 1 million. Damn, good for you, girl. Congrats. I didn't know that.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna find this Amazon thing, y'all. I'm looking at it right now because
Welcome to the 1 million club.
okay, I got it. Give me your screen. Where is this?
Nice. 1 million views. That's awesome. I'm jealous. I gotta get there now.
Here you go. So if you look, this is what I'm telling y'all. They screwed up. All right. They messed up.
This was the order to seal and redact, it says, and then
eBay. Okay.
uh-huh.
But if we scroll down, right, we see what they were searching for was actually an ASIN number. I said AZN, but it's ASIN. ASIN number is exactly what everything on Amazon is given, right? So they can identify what product
it is, right? That I know. That's true.
And what they did was
they went and used it for the eBay warrant instead, and they don't have eBay don't use ASIN numbers.
So if you look here, Amazon Standard Identification Number, that's ASIN, is a unique block of 10 characters used exclusively with Amazon's system to identify products.
Yeah.
But if you come back, right, you just see that they searched an ASIN within eBay. But if you look on Amazon with this ASIN number, it is for the knife and the knife sheath.
Really?
Yes. I said this.
But they just put it on the wrong. They put the wrong number on the right warrant, or they put the wrong number on the wrong warrant, basically. Sorry.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Gotcha. I remember this now. Okay.
Maybe.
Where'd it go? The K-bar is purchased in ID. Is confirmed.
I got it right here.
Listen, okay.
I got it's used to track product inventory, reference catalog data, and index pages of catalog pages for searching and browsing Amazon.
Yeah, whatchamacallit says Sinner said assigned bin ID number. They used to work for Amazon, so that's how I knew it too, because a friend of mine.
No purchase was found to have been made by Brian Kohlberger.
So then who was the warrant for then?
Can someone read out those numbers on that top line so I can put it in to see if it actually brings me anything?
4040. 40. You got it? 4040. 163.
163.
Yep. 249.
249.
38.
38.
4040-463-24938.
You don't have to do that, y'all. It's right here. 4040-1632, whatever. K-bar, full size U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife. And the one underneath it is the leather sheath. And I actually, at the time when this came out, was able to put these in and it go there.
Okay.
So that warrant has said that's what they're searching for. So the data on see if somebody had actually searched for that knife, be it Brian Kohlberger.
Well,
that's where I got confused on that.
Well, that's where but that's kind of what it is. It's a warrant.
So they're looking for related to the sales of the following items from January 1st to now, right? So it's not just if they searched for it, but it's
They wanted all sales of that knife for that period of time. And that would
Right.
include Kohlberger and anybody else that bought it.
correct. And Duke,
Okay.
not necessarily, because you can buy them separately. You can buy just a knife on Amazon, and you can also
Right.
buy the sheath
sheath.
separately.
By itself. That was another topic of discussion. Somebody said Lana pulled up the what the search was last night. So
And there's another one somewhere, and it has like maybe different numbers on it.
Okay. I agree, Lou. Thank you.
good point.
All right, so but this isn't showing that they found Kohlberger had purchased a knife or was in possession of that knife.
Which is when they requested more detailed info, like the clicks, and added with okay.
Yeah, they were trying to find a connection, like they were searching out.
He
To see
had
if
added it to his wish list, or if he had clicked on it or looked at it or any of that,
Right,
and they
right.
didn't find that. Sitter says, okay, thank you.
And I like the description of it. It's a fighting knife. Notice
That's
how
what
they
they
describe it.
Yeah, they give those in the Marine Corps when you first enlist, and then they teach you the hand-to-hand combat.
Right. But
Not
the point I
anymore.
wanna-
They used to.
They used to, right.
So the only point as I made a while ago was that knife is designed as a weapon of war. That
Mhm.
your hand does
I
not
would agree
slide
with
down the
that.
handle on that knife. You're not going to find your hand hanging onto the open blade if you wield that knife.
It was so obvious they kept trying to find anything. They had nothing. That's why they went into all that. Okay. Because he didn't order one, so let's look here and see if he even looked at it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
Same thing with this fog information, right? And then the point made earlier, someone said, well, Brian's 12 alibis, the fog is probably going to put him nowhere near that house as a stalker. Right? If you can't solidify that, then your case just keeps getting more and more reasonable doubt keeps getting added to the points you've made. It's getting outrageous. Everything they actually gave Kohlberger his own alibi.
Right. Thank you so much, Sinner. Up, down, ingenuity. Thank you very much for all that stuff. Have you heard about the possible killer? No, I have not, Trinity. Thank you for the possible serial killer in Indianapolis. I'll have to look into it.
No, I didn't. Be a bad week to be a box of cornflakes or something, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Serial killers.
Shut up, Sarge. It took me a minute to get that.
Come on, folks. I'm going to say something stupid on a regular basis. I can't help myself.
It's crap.
How come the sun is so quiet today?
Is he there?
I'm here.
Is he there? He was talking about Peters.
Yeah, he's working.
Gotcha. I just want to see the evidence against him. We haven't seen it. Right. And I think that would have been brought up, I think, at some point if Brian would have purchased that knife. Okay. That's one thing I guarantee you that the prosecution would not have been quiet about. If they'd have found that Brian bought this knife through Amazon, they'd have said, listen, guys, the man bought the knife that they're saying was used in the crimes. What else do you need? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not so sure, but that's just, I'm always.
I mean, that's just an opinion I have, but I would guess I would if I was an attorney. If I was trying to prove that this man did this, that's the first thing I'd say. He went on Amazon and he bought the damn knife. Here it is. You know what I mean?
They searched his house and they found other knives. They didn't identify any K-bar knife in the search, though.
They never stated what it was, right?
Right.
You guys know that Kane is the COI of Grickman Hospital? No. Kane is the man that owned the Linda Lane footage initially.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know. What the hell is COI? Chief Operating.
I forget what the hell it stands for.
That inspector thing. What does they call that?
Chief Officer not an investor. Whatever. He's important.
He's not a CEO or he's not a CFO.
You're always important when there's something behind your name.
CIO,
COI.
COI is usually certificate of insurance, but CIO would be chief information officer.
No, it's
Hold on, guys.
I think you're right though. I think it is maybe CIO.
Yeah, that would make sense. Did he step away and that's what he meant hold on for?
I don't know.
What is it?
Yeah, I'm talking to my wife real quick. Hold on.
No hurry. He didn't. There's no record of him buying anything on eBay or Amazon in relation to a knife. There, Green Punk. Someone bought it on eBay. They're saying that. I'd search every single victim for the same purchase.
Yeah.
And survivor for the same purchase. I'd search anybody that came through the department that I interviewed.
I'm here. Sorry about that.
That's probably why they asked for it from January 22 forward. Clue that may be why, because that way they could see the whole list of people.
Oh, okay. Center says chief info officer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cletus figured that out.
Good job, Clytus. Okay, Samira. Executive at a healthcare organization oversees the operation of information technology department, consults on the C-level and personnel. Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Center.
Yeah, well, not only did the frat boys have in Victoria, there was a lot of knives, and even Dylan Morrison was posed with some of those knives. So knives seemed to be a big thing in the circle that she traveled.
There was one guy in particular that had a K-bar knife in his overalls for the Halloween costume he had.
Well,
I think it's
how about the
Idaho.
photo of Dylan? How about that photo of Dylan with that one ass hatchet kind of knife?
I think that was doctored, in my opinion,
I can agree with that too.
because
It looked funny.
it's a different picture of her where she's actually in a car, I think. And then someone just put maybe, but
Oh, so
I
they
know there's
took it-
another picture of her that looks exactly the same.
So we don't know if it's a
And-
real picture.
Right.
Right.
Thank you, Misty. It's wonderful to have you here.
Did you put it to the test?
No, but I can find them if it's really that important. I
Do you know what
just,
the
for
test
me,
consists-
like,
do you know what the test consists
to
of?
me, like, that's the whole problem with this case. People have taken stuff that's come out, they've twerked it. Is
Yep.
twerk? No, they haven't done that. Sorry, I'm thinking
Tweaked
about
it.
shaking my booty.
They tweaked it, right?
Yeah, they've tweaked it. They've added. I mean, do y'all not remember that YouTube guy who like played this audio where like someone was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Ah," and
Joseph
now-
Morrison. Joseph
Right.
Morrison.
Yeah.
So for anybody, like, I'm sorry, not sorry.
Where it
Y'all can
started.
hate me. Y'all can hate me or not, but anyone who takes anything out of these audios that somebody is doing on their channel,
Yeah.
you've lost your mind.
Well, I was
I
going to
don't
say that
trust
photograph.
nothing.
You want to send a computer command because your man's good with computers and stuff, but send it to the James Webb Telescope so that it can turn
Yeah.
its eye on Earth and look at that photo for us.
The original photo, she was holding a lighter. I do remember that because I saw both pictures.
On
And
the
then-
original, so someone doctored up the picture of her holding the blade. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
they put that's what I was saying. It looks
Son of
like
a
someone
bitches.
put a knife in her
Yeah.
hand.
I had to go
Because-
back. If you guys remember that we're here a long time ago, I had to go back and debunk another audio that was put out because they were like, "Oh, there's a thud. There's this. There's that. There's no, it's not. It was the lady came out that said that she made the audio, and I showed the video for it. So it's
Well,
just go ahead.
let me just say this much, okay? I literally, when I started, right, I didn't realize, like, this is how naive I am, okay? I didn't realize that people would do this because I thought the true crime community was truly about focusing on the truth. So I trusted an audio,
Same
right,
here.
that I found. Guess what audio it was? It was the one where that Morrison guy had added the screaming.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned really quickly in this niche is not all channels are created equal. Some of them want to feed and get views and clicks off of pure BS they find in the air and magically appears for their narrative. Some
Yeah.
people, like myself, I'm not about to do that. So
Photoshopping thing is a real thing, folks. They do really well people do really good jobs of doing that kind of stuff, and it'll blow your mind how real it looks. So,
Oh, okay. I can show you what I'm talking about right here. Matter of fact.
good to see you,
Well,
Lily.
it's happening more and more lately. These outliers are pumping information into this sad event that are just distorting and causing
So you look
causing
right here?
confusion and questions we shouldn't have to deal with.
See this right here? This
Right.
picture of her? And then look right here where she's in the car.
Same picture, folks.
It's the same. Like I looked at that and I was like, oh,
Even-
okay.
Like, there's no
Pull
way
up
they're
and down
taking
again.
the same exact picture. And if you look at her thumb, come back up a little bit, Clue. Look at her thumb.
Yeah.
Okay, and the way her hand is holding, like, come on, it's not hard to do that stuff as well. It's true. People do this shit all the time.
Yeah, that's just absolutely insane. You would do something like that. You got to have something wrong with you to do something like that.
El Barrico says I can draw tunnels under the house. Oh my god!
Draw a guy parachuting in from a paraglider that takes off from the ground. And
Yes, yeah. I mean,
it's
and that's
sustained
people
by
do
the
it
exhale
exactly.
of the flyer.
It's just frustrating because then you get people that like come on your channel and they're like, oh my gosh, have you heard that there was actually 12 people and 4 of them were underground in the tunnels? One of them was dropped by a parachuter onto the back deck. They held Murphy, and it's like, oh my gosh, y'all, don't come in here. Don't be in here.
That's
For
true.
real,
Paul
don't be
Dana.
in here.
There's a rumor, but no evidence. Sorry for stepping on you, Clue.
I'm used to that. It's fine.
You know, there is a rumor, but no evidence that BK purchased K-Bar on Amazon. Exactly, Paladin.
So, that's what I was going to say. So this search warrant that I just found is what we need. So let me see. Share screen. And then whenever Dago pulls that up, he might be AFK.
What does that mean?
I'm learning these acronyms. I'm quite impressed away from keyboard. So y'all see this BOO1H53Q6M, right? If you Google that, it comes up with this on Amazon, K-Bar, full size, U.S. Marine Corps knifing sheath, fighting knife straight blade, whatever. I don't know what it's going to say. I can't make that up, but so they do go together. This is just the actual ASIN number, but they were searching for ASIN numbers on eBay, and eBay doesn't have ASIN numbers.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
This search is specifically to a military K-Bar, not one of the knockoffs,
It's to this one right here.
which is a true military K-Bar.
This
You
one.
just had a picture of it up on screen.
It's
that
right
one.
here.
Is there a description that we could read on this?
It says it right here. U.S. Marine Corps fighting knife.
Okay.
So it is the Marine Corps version.
I'm curious
right?
where it
Quote
was made.
unquote.
It was made in China, where, you know.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's the problem, because when you look at this stuff, right, they do sell knockoffs on.
this
Does
is
that
off.
make sense?
Yeah, they do. This is off of Amazon as well. Okay. $97.77. K-Bar, U.S. military fighting utility knife, USMC serrated edge, black hard sheath. Now, the one that was supposedly used had no serrated edge, right?
Right. Well,
Right.
yeah, they said it wasn't, right, y'all? It said it wasn't.
Yeah, they said it wasn't, if I remember right. So that's what I'm saying. There's multiple versions of this, guys.
Okay. But that particular number that they used is very specific to that knife.
Let me
And
see
that
that.
knife was $100. It's $100 knife, right?
What was the number again, real quick? Does anybody know? If not, don't
It's
worry.
Because I'm pretty sure.
B00
Uh-huh.
1H 53
Thank you.
Q6M.
I'm sure there's much less expensive K bars you could buy on Amazon.
There are. That's what I'm trying to prove right now.
77.
This warrant was dated for November 26, 22.
How much was your K bar? Just so I know I'm looking at the right one. The one that they listed. The $94 one.
$89.
Because they're all over the price, all over the place in price. The
Mhm.
sheath is, you can get some for even way more money if you want. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily show. Oh wait, compound user K bar. Hang on.
So it's really odd that they have a very specific like ASIN number. Does that make sense? Because there's a lot of sellers. Like if you just search for this knife
Yeah.
on Amazon, there are a lot of them. So the fact that they had a specific ASIN number was a little telling to me.
Well, look at the sheath.
This is the
Go
one that
down there.
comes up. Yeah, this is the one that comes up under that number specifically on YouTube. Or I mean
The one-
on Amazon, sorry.
Can you click on the sheath? And it has that. Now it may come up because it has that specific stamping. That may be why they went and looked for that specific blade. You see?
Right,
Oh,
right.
I agree.
100%. They probably did reverse search on it to find.
And that is brass. Look at the snap. It is made of brass.
I said that earlier. Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm repeating this.
It's okay. It's okay.
Pete
That's
Repeat
pretty-
went down to the river.
Even these things look like they're brass too, so I get it.
Well, Pete fell in. Who was left? Pete and Repeat went down to the river. Pete fell in. Who was left?
And you can buy these separate though, just so everybody knows.
Well, it
This
almost
number,
it
it
alludes to they were bought separately, right?
Right. But this number, when you bring it up under the number you gave me, that's the combo. They come together that way. There's a knife sheath.
And there's another number that's listed for the sheath, right?
No, Kimberly, there's no information stating Dylan Morrison couldn't open her door. There is no statement ever made in this case. The only reference to a door not being openable is Zana's and Ethan's. Had to be forced. That's the reason that we're told that the friend was called across the street, or sorority friend. Excuse me, but there's nothing ever said that there was anything in front of Dylan Morton's bedroom door for her not be able to get out. That was never said.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, she asked a decent question. Had to answer. Politeness.
Yeah.
I err on the side of kindness. It's just my new thing. No comment. You guys are mean. I'm
Why?
taking my toys and going home. But I am jumping off. Got dinner going. Skabeggy. I'm the
All right, Waffle Man. Wait a minute.
Thank you for having me in. You guys know what to do. There's something you got to check later. And hopefully one of you will stream later and we can bring up that untalkable topic at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Thank you for joining us, Sarge. Have a great
There you
night.
go.
Enjoy your spaghetti.
Glad you had a great weekend with the fam. And my son had to sleep on the floor last night. I don't think that was acceptable, but he's okay with it.
The kid
good,
comes
uh,
first.
Yes, the child.
I'll
Children
talk-
always
I'll
come
talk to you
first.
later.
All right. Have a great day. Wow, they got some crazy knives in here.
I love knives.
Me too.
That's totally the way I do crime.
Knives and machetes and swords. I've always been a fan of. I have a. Well, I've shown you that big knife that I used for demonstration. It's the only one I have.
You know what's weird? This knife has 0 2-star reviews. That's crazy.
The K-bar.
Yeah. Like there's some 1 stars, there's some 3, 4, and 5, but there's no 2s.
That's crazy. There's a 5-star on this one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the one that I got to using that ASIN.
That's what this is. Hold on a minute. Let me show you. I think this is the one that I gave that you gave me that number, and this is what came up. Easy to hold, but it's just easy to hold. You got 5 stars on sturdiness 4.8, craftsmanship 4.8, value for money 4.7. Lightweight, adult. Almost $100 for this thing.
That's not bad.
I mean, if it's actually like military issued, yeah, that's pretty good price. B001H53Q6M, right? That's what I put in there. Let me do it again and show you guys that I searched it.
Hold on. What did it be?
001H53Q6M.
Well, I got to get to the dang number first. B001H53Q6M.
When I type that in the Amazon search bar, I hit this. This is what happens.
Yeah.
See these generic, like second rate style. There it is right there. That's the only one that's a K-bar that came up. That's an actual K-bar, I meant. Sorry.
Do not order this piece of this one said it didn't come with the sheath.
This one doesn't, right here.
This review said it didn't.
Maybe it was supposed to and it just didn't.
Yeah, because all the pictures, it shows a sheath.
Included, it says right here, included knife. Oh, wait a minute. Included components, knife. Oh, wow. Okay. Then why does it show the sheath?
Man, you know how the Amazon people be doing? They're like, oh, yeah, we'll give you all of it that you need. And then you get it and you're like, I wanted to use it. And now I got to order something else.
That's cheap. It says it's only the knife that's included. I'll be damned. They're showing the sheath. Why are we even? Yeah, why are
false advertisement?
unknown color?
But then this one person said came as advertised. Very nice knife. Also comes with a nice leather sheath.
Yeah, but it should say it in the description. I would imagine that included components would be knife and sheath.
I looked for that too and didn't.
They said it was. They said Terry Martin. That's not a dumb question, hon. And it's a fact that they said that the type of wound would show that if it had a serrated edge on it, it'd have been more torn than it was, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I remember them coming out and saying it wasn't serrated, like a straight edge.
Yep. Yeah, we can do batteries on Christmas, like batteries on. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, Paladin just said that the U.S. Marine Corps issues different make model knife nearly every year, and usually it's up to discretion of the local command. Interesting.
EOO. MBZ. I'm looking at the other one because I'm pretty sure when I looked at it before. Yeah, So if you search the other number, right, it comes up just the sheath.
Oh, okay. So that's how they looked it up then. I got you. Just to see.
Right.
That makes sense. Hold on a second. Somebody just asked me to do something. AG. All right. Hey, give me 1 second. I'm going to excuse myself for about 30 seconds. I'll be right.
I'm always lost and never know how to entertain people when he walks away. For everyone whose day is their special day, happy birthday to you. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no treble. Turn around. I'm on a boat. I got my swim trunks and my flippy floppies.
What the hell are you doing?
Hey, you know what? Someone leaves me unexpectedly on their stream. You get what entertainment I give.
You're singing a song with your flip floppies in your boat. Okay.
You don't know that song, T-Pain? I'm on a boat.
No.
Take a good hard look at the mother boat.
Yeah, no, I don't know it.
See, I censored myself. Calm down.
You're fine. All right, what was this? 1113, or sorry, 1113.
Oh, I love Journey. Don't get me started on Journey. Oh, gosh. My favorite's Who's Crying Now?
Separate Ways, Separate Worlds,
Separate Ways.
or something like that by Journey. Separate
You
Worlds.
had it right. It's Separate Ways.
Yeah, I love that song.
I love anything Journey.
Yeah, they're good.
They don't have nothing on me when they sing, but they do all right.
I'm on a boat. I got my flip floppies.
No, I got my swim trunks and my flippy floppies.
Oh, okay, got you. Wow. Interesting. All right.
They heard you. Cletus in the house.
Cletus is singing it too.
I sing that song when I'm on a boat. I sing that song when I'm on carpet.
Which live stream was it from last night? I only see.
What are y'all talking about?
They asked me to. AG asked me to pull up Lana's video from last night. It shows eBay purchase for Idaho.
There's two eBays. One on two. Oh, sorry, both on 228. I got
this
them here.
video right here. Again, this is from Truth to Transparency. Miss Lana's video from last night. I did it again.
Y'all got a timestamp because that was like the longest.
She's pretty accurate when she pulls up stuff and goes like in depth with it. So this one right here. Is this right? AG? Beat video.
What song in your head?
I got my flip flop or my swim trunks and my flippy flappies. You are notorious for earworms. God almighty.
This is Cluminati on the panel up here. Megan. And if we could put her link, guys, we'd appreciate that.
Who's asking?
Delivery truck info. Okay. She said 1113. I don't see any eBay. Nope. Yeah.
So this is the one I pulled up, right? where it's eBay, but then they have they have an ASIN number,
Okay.
which won't work.
So, okay. So if they Googled the ASIN number, then it would have taken it directly to probably showing them an Amazon list, right? When you
Well,
Google,
that's the thing. These ASIN numbers, I can't. So there was a big old mix up with this, right?
yeah, I
Like,
remember that.
I couldn't get the ASIN numbers to work through Amazon. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's because it's not, or eBay, I mean, it's not an Amazon number, the ASIN they have in there. Because if you notice that 4040163, that's different than the B00.
I got you, Sinner.
Now, if I look up this under eBay,
He said earworms, not warts. Earwarts.
earworms.
Oh wow, you guys are a trip.
No, she don't give me earworts.
Well, I mean, just add it to the list, crabs, etc. But if you search that number, that 4040, you don't get nothing
Right.
off that eBay search warrant, right?
Unless they took the eBay site down.
Maybe.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Hold on here. Let me do this real quick for everybody.
Where is that other one? The other one for eBay. I got my swim trunks
Stop.
in my flip.
Oh, now you got it in my head. Please stop.
Stop.
And you're welcome.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. All right, folks. Where's it at? Where's it? Oh, where's the no? Where's the yes? Is that the? Okay, there's the phone number for anybody that would like to call in to ask any questions or make comments about this. The phone lines are now receiving. Let's do it. Unknown caller or anybody else that would like to. A serrated knife, that was the point that was brought up before. A serrated knife would have made it, the wounds would have been a lot more fierce looking and shredded, like more, they wouldn't have been as clean cut. Okay, let me put it that way. And that I've seen. Okay, my experience proves if you go in and then you pull that out, the serrated side is going to shred it. It's going to be bad. Thank you, Eagle. War Eagle, very much. Appreciate that. And thank you to anybody that has pulled anything off of the wish list for me. God bless. I really do appreciate that more than you guys know. Was it an eBay seller that was going through Amazon? Ah,
That's what I thought.
that makes sense because because I'm a toy collector. I've ordered toys through eBay years ago, and it pulled it from Amazon. Okay, we got an incoming call.
Have you ever seen this?
Call from Terry Martin.
No, I have not seen that. I just saw that today. Welcome, Terry. Thank you for calling in. How are you?
Hey, I just got a real quick question on when you're talking about the wound.
Hold on 1 second. Let me share this so that everybody can hear you. And then
I can hear.
Take it down. Could you?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay. My question on the wound is, do we even really decide with the lady, what do you call the lady that got there late?
Mabbit, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do we know anything more than what he has told us as far as the wound?
No, we
Okay,
don't. No, we don't.
I mean, we did hear from Steve, right? He said that Kaylee's were different, right? I mean, but for the most part, everything else is just speculation. Am I correct?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Okay, so that doesn't mean. I mean, obviously they did an autopsy on them. So is that sealed? Is that how that works?
We're not going to see the autopsy until the trial, if even then. So yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. Everything's
right.
under.
So you said, okay, so that's why I'm trying to understand. How do we know that there weren't more than one weapons used?
We don't.
I agree with you on that. I've said that from the beginning.
And you were just talking about the serrated would leave, a more wedgy or whatever, a more of a rip type. But we don't even know what they look like.
The only
Right?
thing that I've listened to Steve say that what he saw were large, like puncture wounds, puncture wounds, which is why I got interested in the possibility of another weapon, because in the PCA it kind of leans towards 3 different types of wounds that were listed in the PCA. It doesn't mean that it is, but it could be.
Right. Okay. And then is there a different, the sheath that they found, would it be a different, can you tell if it's a serrated or not that would fit into that sheath?
It's serrated or not, it would have fit in the sheath either way.
Okay. Can you tell if that was an actual? And I apologize. I just got on. I got back here. So if you said it, I apologize. But can you tell if that was that sheath was an actual marine, given or made, or something that was bought? I know that you've been looking at Amazon and that sort.
You could look at the sheath and say that that's what that sheath holds, but that doesn't mean that's the knife that was in there.
Okay. The reason I'm asking that is just because from what I could read in the comments, people were saying that if it was an actual marine, actual knife, that it's very sturdy and it wouldn't break. And I've heard and read other things that if it's not, then it will break off after so much use.
Yeah, but I've been told by people, some people say they're strong and they last forever. Some people say they're weak and they don't. So it's just going to vary on who has had whatever experience with it, I think.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a kind of a grasp on, maybe I missed something. Do we know more about the wounds? I just thought it was what she mentioned and what Steve had said.
Not any more than we've heard thus far, no. And we won't until the trial, honestly.
Well,
okay. And then one other thing okay, so this has to do with the picture of the car speeding by, I know it's not what you're talking about, but it's, I'm scratching my head. What person would stand there with a phone pointed out the door to catch a speeding car?
If you're going to take a picture of your phone, it's like you have to put it on the camera, right? You have to get it, and then you got to, if it's a person working, they're probably behind the counter, so then they got to.
Oh, you're talking about the gas station photo. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just like, that doesn't even make sense.
I've never taken a whole lot of faith in that because that wasn't brought to us from like law enforcement. So I'm not I don't give that a whole lot of faith.
Okay. I just was curious because I know that some state channels have been talking about it lately. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't even make sense. Who's going to run? And then it started off, they said they got it. The lady that worked there went back through all the surveillance. And then all of a sudden now there's a phone you can see bouncing back from the reflection. And I'm like, that does not make sense. Who would even think about running around? Oh, I'm going to, and stand here until a car goes by. Anyway, that's it. Okay.
No problem. Thank you for calling in, Terry. I appreciate you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night, hon. Whoever tried to call in before, you can try to call back now. The phone line is open again.
I will say this much, Diego. As far as the wounds, let me explain this kind of quickly, but Steve says their wounds are different, right? So pretend you stab someone, and then on the next person, you're slashing
you
cutting
can make
move.
Wounds, absolutely. Yes, I agree
All
with
of
you.
those all fall under the category of sharp force injuries.
And I agree. I went through a show, can't remember who it was, but right, Sander was just getting ready. That's what I was going to say. After the first person, you could be tired. So therefore, there's going to be a different angle possibly as to how you're standing too.
I don't look at it as he got tired. I look at it as if Kaylee woke up she would then have the opportunity to defend herself.
Mhm.
Therefore, the only type of wound you might be able to get in most times would be the like cutting motion.
And it also depends on how each person was interacted with.
Right.
Behind somebody, you're going to get them in a different way. If like Clue just said, if she woke up, then all of a sudden she's defending herself. Now you have to go in a different way to handle the situation. You can take one of those knives and turn it when you're doing things, and it'll change the look of the wound. I mean, there's a lot of different variations that go with this. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's another point right there. Sinner says, in a small area, they may not be able to get a stab in. And that was stated by Christy just recently, that area, once you're in that room, it's a very small space. You're not getting back out. You're kind of trapped in there. So there's no room to move very much. So, And
in my opinion, obviously, I think he stood off the bed, right? Like, I don't think he ever stepped up onto the bed, or God knows, they should have had something on the sheet off of his foot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he stood there and leaned over. Therefore, you're not going to have the same leverage as you would on the person who's on the outside.
Yep. I agree. I do agree. So,
but we don't know that, Sinner and Saints. We don't know that they weren't the ones with that, right? Like, and now they did say, like, visible stab wounds. You know what I mean? Which is, they do describe Maddie and Kaylee with the same looking type of wound. But I mean, how much detail are you going to go into that in your PCA?
That's a great point. That is a great point. Oh, hold up. Let's see, we got another call here.
Stephanie?
Is it Stephanie?
Tiffany with a T.
Tiffany, you are live with the Dago. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Wonderful. Can you hear Clue?
Hello?
Can you hear her? Tiffany?
Yeah, so it's what I want to talk about is it's the second eBay warrant that shows verified purchases. If you look at the second eBay warrant on page 13, it shows all of the states with how many items they purchased. Obviously, the names are redacted, but it does show one in Idaho, one in Pennsylvania, and 2 in Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's on that paper.
Yeah.
I just had that on the screen.
13.
Okay.
And then, so what I noticed out of that is after they got that warrant back is when they requested the UPS or USPS video. So I'm thinking that once they received that warrant back from eBay and got the information of when it was purchased, that's when they requested the video to see, where it was delivered or someone picked it up. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. That makes sense.
All right, that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Welcome to call anytime we do it. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.
You too, bye.
All right, bye-bye. Awesome. And War Eagle just gifted 10 memberships. That's awesome. Let me see who got them if I can. Give me a second here. Hold on.
What? It's in my head.
1 second. Let's see. It looks like Bombshell was gifted. Q was gifted. North Carolina Mountain Man. Nothing half-assed. Betty Boop. High Vibes. A 16. L.A. Sleuthcat 77. Teresa and Shelly were all gifted. That is so very awesome. War Eagle, thank you and God bless. And welcome to all the new meatballs. Welcome to the sauce. Appreciate having all you guys in here as we spill that sauce today. This week, guys, I can't give you the exact day, but I will put it up on the community page and it will be up ahead of time. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or the day after. We will be going back as far back as I can find any to the interviews, and we're gonna go through the interviews with the Gonsalves families and other people. and kind of check and listen to everything we've seen and heard on it. So that was a request that was brought to me from a subscriber, a couple actually. So that is coming this week over the next couple of days. That should be pretty interesting. So again, thank you very much, War Eagle, for that. God bless. I appreciate you so very much, and welcome to the sauce, everybody. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to be covering all those interviews again from the beginning, guys, little by little. Boom. It might take a couple days, I don't know, but we're going to speed through them and listen to everything we can through them. So it should be quite interesting. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add to this, Clue?
Yeah, hold on. Let me
Go ahead. Take your time.
let me think. Oh, I got my swim trunks and my flippy floppies.
There's definitely something wrong with you.
I know.
That's okay, though. Other than that, guys, I think we're going to have to bring her down for the day. We've been up for 3 hours, and I've had a few people tell me that when we do these long ones, it takes them forever to watch them. So I think we're going to try to stay 3 hours and under at the very latest when we do these shows like this. Again, thank you, War Eagle. That was awesome. Flippy floppies. Yes. You're going to have me singing that in my head all damn night now.
Good.
I don't know if I'll be back here tonight, guys, but you might see me somewhere. Who knows? I don't know. But thank you guys, Clue and Cletus, for jumping up here. Willie, thank you. Sarge, thank you. You guys understand that this panel is open to other people to come up here and voice their opinions. It just doesn't have to be these same people all the time. Not that I don't appreciate them, but you guys don't have stage fright. Nobody's any better than anybody else, and I would love to hear all your voices. Please, I'd love to hear all your voices. And that's okay, Carolyn. I'm sure she appreciates that. They love you. They don't love me. They love you, Clue.
That's not what she was saying.
I'm just teasing. But anyway, I appreciate you, Carolyn. Clue and Cletus, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you for joining the panel. Sonny, next time I go live, you're welcome to jump up here as well. That goes for anybody. Like I said, I want to hear you guys' thoughts and your theories and your opinions and your feelings. If you want to jump up here just to swear at me, do what you got to do. So be it. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I missed you guys this weekend. I hope you all had a great one. I hope you have a great rest of your night. If I don't see you, other than that, I will see you all on the other side, which would be tomorrow. And have a good night, Clue. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves, to love each other. Don't change a thing about yourselves because you guys are the beautiful people. See you soon, folks. Bye-bye now.